You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, good people? We are here to discuss several things, one of which is, do you like Breece Hall or do you like Christian McCaffrey more going forward? We're breaking down the Christian McCaffrey situation, how it impacts Deebo Samuel. I've had time to digest it. You've had time to digest it. And I'm here to say, and I'll explain why after we do the news, but I'm here to say that Breece Hall I still like more than Christian McCaffrey go forward. And I've got a lot of reasons for that, but let's hit the news desk and then get back to the topic at hand.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So we've got quite a bit of news to get through, and then we'll get to the super chats. We'll get to the topic at hand. Actually, we'll get to the news, then the topic at hand, which is Christian McCaffrey or Breece Hall. Who do you like better? We'll go to the chat. We'll talk to everybody, see what you all think. But let's get to this news right here. So let's start off with some positive news, okay? Because, the negative stuff is, kind of a downer sometimes. So we're going to go with the positive stuff right here. Amon-Ra St. Brown, no longer listed on the Lions injury report. He's ready for a full course meal. Let's go, Amon-Ra.
Mashed potatoes!
Fire up Amon-Ra for week number 7. Dude's going to eat. He's hungry. He's got a chip on his shoulder still. The guy's never lost that chip that's on his shoulder. He's so mad that people were drafted ahead of him. Every wide receiver drafted ahead of him. He knows their name. He knows their number. He's coming for him, and he's ready to explode. He doesn't have a bye week. He's bye week free going forward. Amon-Ra St. Brown, buy him now before it's too late. And it's probably too late after this news right here. The people that are panicking, the panic Peters out there, the petrified Peters, they're all worried about this guy being still banged up, right? This report takes away that worry. So I've been telling you all week to go get him. He's definitely one of my biggest buy lows, and I think he's going to make people suffer that second guess that he's a top 5, top 6 wide receiver go forward. So let's go Amon-Ra St. Brown. St. Brown to the moon in 2022 go forward. A little bit of somber news. It's not like we know for sure what's going on, but Swift is questionable again, and it's he had the whole 2 weeks to get better than the bye week. The fact that he's still questionable is concerning. I'm not saying he doesn't play, but there was a report, coaching staff, the reports coming out of Detroit where that he's still got a decent shot at playing. Whenever your dad, like I say, whenever your dad tells you might get ice cream, you're usually not getting ice cream as a kid. And with them saying he might play, it feels very similar to that we're being told one thing, but at the end of the day, are they going to sit him one more week? Now, here's the situation, okay? Here's the situation. Even if you own Swift, you've traded for him, you've bought him on the low, and now we're looking at maybe another missed game. He still already had his bye week, okay? So if for any reason you traded for him and you traded away a player that has their bye week upcoming, you got to look at it that way, okay? He might be out this week, maybe, but when he comes back, he will be absolute fire. Is he an injury risk? He absolutely is. Has he been a disappointment thus far? Yes, he has. When you miss games, the amount of games he's missed and you're injury prone, it really does wear on you, and it is frustrating. So if you own Swift, you're hurting, you're waiting, you're hurting, you're waiting. It's like a constant, pain in the rear end, this guy. But he's ultra talented. He has the capability of being a top 5 running back per start. And so if you're patient and you're able to weather through this extra potential game, this extra waiting period, then it's going to be worth it. But I can't tell you what to do. If you own him and you've got an offer on the table, let's say somebody's coming at you with a CMC for Swift, you're going to probably have to take that because you don't know when this guy is fully going to be ready to go. I feel like every week it seems like it's going to be the next week, and then it's one more week and one more week. So I don't know. I don't want to tell you he's going to be back next week because I don't know. But could he play this week? He could, but I don't know. Nobody knows. We only know that he's not ready right now. If they were playing the game today, he wouldn't suit up. So we got to assume he's probably going to be out this week, but maybe he plays. We'll see. I'll certainly address it tomorrow. I'll address it later tonight. As of right now, he's questionable, and we don't. That means truly 50-50. So wait and see on this one. This right here, Waddle's probably going to play. Every report I see says that Waddle's going to play, but he's questionable, which is the same 50-50 designation that Swift has. But we're hearing that he's more likely going to play than not. The problem is he's injured. He's going to play injured. Waddle's an injury-prone player, in my mind, at this point, until he proves it otherwise. And so is Higgins. Higgins and Waddle, very talented wide receivers, capable of being fantasy football wide receiver ones, but they're injury prone in our minds right now till they prove differently. And so playing injured worries me because he's already subject to injury, and now he's going to go out there and play hurt. So I'm a little worried about Waddle right now. If I own him, I'm entertaining offers. Now, what do? Can you get a St. Brown? You could have. Not necessarily straight up, but you could have, when I've been saying grab St. Brown all week long, off of the back of people still being a little concerned and worried about the injury status. Is the ankle good? Because you had with St. Brown, you had the bye week out of the way. You also had owners worrying about the fact that this guy came back and didn't look good. He did come back before the bye week and didn't look good because he was still hampered. So people were a little bit on edge. Is he going to be the same? Maybe he's not the guy we thought he was. His owners were panicked. Now the news that I just showed you that Amon-Ra is no longer listed on the injury report, probably off the table. So I don't think you're getting Amon-Ra even if you throw something in. But Waddle is very, very tradable still. And maybe you go across position, you try and get a Kenny Walker. Maybe you try and go get an A.J. Brown. Maybe you give up more and you try and upgrade him just a tiny bit. Waddle's tradable. But and I'm not saying panic and get rid of him. He's not going to be good. He's probably going to play in this game. But you also have the Tua situation, which I'm not super comfortable with. I don't know how you guys feel. But Tua coming back a little early worries me. I think he's coming back a little early. I think the same protocols and people and decision makers that put him back on the field after a concussion, currently in a concussive state, currently had brain damage when they sent him out onto the field, because a concussion is just that. It's brain damage. It's brain trauma. It's brain injury. It's injury to the brain. They sent him out there with brain trauma, and he got injured again. This league doesn't know what he's capable of doing or not capable of doing. The decision makers in place obviously don't know what they're doing, and they're sending Tua back out, allowing him back out on the field. I don't care what Tua wants. He shouldn't be on the field yet. He shouldn't be on the field yet. They don't know. Just because he passes concussion protocols, the same ones that put him back on the field, the same ones that put him back on the field to get laid out, just because he passed those doesn't mean his brain's going to be able to take a blindside hit. So I still very much worry about the quarterback situation until it proves to be back on track. It's not that I doubt Tua's skill set. It has nothing to do with that. Tua, I admit, looked really good before going down. Miami Mike's offense is looks on point, with a quarterback, a capable quarterback under center like Tua. But this worries me, and he should play, but there are opportunities to sell him in my mind, and I'm taking advantage of those where and if I can. Keenan Allen's another guy that look, he's talented, but being questionable 50-50 is what the questionable tag indicates. We don't know what to expect. Like, even if he hits the field, this is that guy that you put in your lineup that is a decoy. He ends up going out and playing decoy. He ends up playing limited snaps. He's also the same guy that you think that's going to happen, and then they send him out there, and he has a big monster game, and you sat him because you're worried about him being a decoy. That's who this is. That's who Keenan Allen is. You don't know what to expect. If he was to play, you don't know what to expect. I'm going to go ahead and sit him unless I've got no other options. And I'm selling him where I can as well. And he's hard to sell, but if you throw him into a deal, you can oftentimes get something that you shouldn't get. Like, you're upgrading your quarterback into Lamar Jackson, and you got, a quarterback that's much lower than Lamar. You throw Keenan Allen in, you get the deal done. You do something like that. Like, getting rid of Keenan Allen is not easy, but if you get creative, you can go ahead and make a deal done. You can get a deal done that you shouldn't really get done. We're going to talk about this here in a second. McCaffrey getting traded. Does Debo take a hit? We're going to talk about all that as well. Keenan Allen, truly 50-50. This right here, another kind of frustrating piece of information, because we're told about a week ago that Damien Harris is out multiple games. Now he's back at full practice. We don't know what report's true. Obviously, being at practice means, full participant at practice means he's likely to play. If he plays, though, will he be limited? Will Bill Belichick lean on Ramondre more than Harris anyway? Ramondre's obviously the better running back. He's just a more skilled pass catcher. He's just a more aggressive runner. I like Damien Harris. I tend to think that, like, if both of them play, Damien Harris might vulture some goal line touchdowns from Damien. But Ramondre will be, doing most of the work from the 20 to the 20. So there'll be a lot of yardage opportunity and a breakaway touchdown run opportunity for Ramondre. But if Harris is on the field, he could vulture some of the goal line work and maybe some of the red zone touches. But I still very confidently start Ramondre Stevenson as a flex at the very least. But his running back 1 potential may be limited this week into running back 2 potential. He may be downgraded into a different tier, but it doesn't mean that you can't find a way to start Ramondre. And Ramondre is still a top 10 running back per start if he's actually getting starter carries and volume. So don't think that the Ramondre Stevenson season's come to a close just because Damien comes back. I mean, Bill likes Ramondre. I like Ramondre. Ramondre's better. Maybe Damien doesn't take his job. Maybe Ramondre runs with it. So we'll have to see what happens on that. Dak Prescott thumb is not listed on the Dallas Cowboys final week injury report. So Dak is back. That's great for CeeDee Lamb. In Lamb right here is also not on the Dallas Cowboys final injury report. So Dallas Cowboys,
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Finally healthy. Dalton Schultz, we'll see if Dalton Schultz gets back on track. Been cut in a lot of leagues, and I don't blame anybody. Like, there's a league or two that I wasn't able to hold him. I had to pick up other guys. Let's answer Silver's question. This is an OG here. We need to take care of Silver. This dude offered me his Waddle and Mike Williams for my Pierce. Don't think I can do it, but seems solid. Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping Pierce, man. Bye week is out of the way. No way I'm trading him, but I can understand the temptation if you need wide receivers and you got running back depth, but I think I do something different with that. CeeDee Lamb, fire him up. No worries about that hip. Some people were worried that it could be a big deal. It's not. He's not even on the injury report, so he's good to go. Fire CeeDee Lamb up like usual. Saquon Barkley isn't listed on New York's final Week 7 injury report. That's fantastic news.
Let's go!
Fire up your Saquon. That's great news. There was concern that this shoulder could end up being develop into something concerning, but clearly that's not the case. Clearly, they're even taking him off the injury report. Now, sometimes they're deceptive with injuries and reporting. I'm not saying there's in a world where there's still a shoulder injury and they're just not putting him on the report. I don't trust injury reports as much as I used to. They're garbage sometimes. So, but we got to take that for what it is and assume that he's good to go. So get ready. J.K. Dobbins, this was easy to see coming before week 1. This was easy to see coming all offseason long. Whenever, just take my word for it, walking into 2023, 2024, 2025, and this might be the case with Javonte Williams, unfortunately, but we'll see where Javonte's at. But whenever a running back's coming off a torn ACL, they're not Adrian Peterson. We saw Adrian Peterson do this, come back, run for 2,000 yards, be an absolute monster, and now everybody expects it out of ACL tears. ACLs have come a long way. They have come a long way in terms of a running back getting back to form eventually. Saquon Barkley, he came back from a torn ACL, had a horrible 2021 fantasy football season because he was on the same path that J.K. Dobbins was on, being rushed back, not even sure if they're fully ready for week 1, and then they push him out there, and then they suffer all these setbacks, knee swelling. They're rushing it. When you're rushing an ACL recovery, it's not going to end well because you're playing professional football, and a healthy body, a healthy running back body needs time to recover, and they don't even have enough time to recover between each game. That's why the running back position is so vigorous and abusive, and it's really hard for a running back to stay healthy, let alone a running back that's not even 100% or even close to it. He was rushed out there. This is why they had to pull him back. They finally put him back on the field, and now he's suffering the consequences. When you speed along an ACL recovery, bad things happen. And he wasn't ready, and this is going to probably derail his career. He had a brutal knee injury. It was brutal. He had no business trying to rush back onto the field in week 1, which, again, they dialed back, but they still rushed him regardless, and now he is where he is. Week 3, his knee started locking up, apparently, so now he's out 4 to 6 weeks with a cleanup surgery. And I don't expect him to be relevant or useful at all for the rest of the season. So Drake has a lot more value today, but at the same time, we've seen this situation go up and down. It's a running back by committee. If Drake's out there, pick him up, but you definitely want to trade Drake on the high, couple him with the wide receiver to slightly upgrade the wide receiver room. So let's say you look at it like this. Whenever you're trading a player like JK or like Drake. So here's Drake. You take Drake. Can't even read that. You take Drake and you couple a wide receiver like, let's say Deontay. You throw Drake in, you pick up Drake, you throw Drake in to just give a little bit tiny boost to Deontay. You're not looking for some monster player. You're looking for a slight upgrade. You're looking for a player that on paper, someone like before Pittman bounced back and became the player that he now is again, you were able to do this. You were able to take Drake and couple him with Deontay to get a Pittman that's undervalued. You probably can't get that anymore. Of course, I would try. Could you maybe get a Gabe Davis? Maybe not anymore, but Gabe was in that value where you could do something like this. The remaining wide receivers that have this potential to buy low and get, Olave was one walking into this week, and now look at him. This is what I'm saying. You have to try and strike before the player bounces back. This is absolute steal territory. If you were able to do this, people were doubting Olave walking into Thursday's game. Is he going to bounce back? He's been missing for a while. Do you like Olave? Should I go after Olave? Should I trade Olave away? Now look, you're not going to be able to get this trade done. But you could have. You could have. Who's left? Who can you go get? Hopkins could have been somebody you could have maybe done this with. Now that's gone. Are there any receivers left at all that you can get this kind of deal done with? I would say, looking at the wide receiver rankings and the wide receivers that have this potential to bounce back, I would say, man, it's hard to even find anybody more because everybody's slowly but surely gaining their value back. I mean, you could maybe try and get a DK, probably won't fly, but you never know. You never know how valuable someone's going to see Drake, so shoot for the moon. DK would be an option. I would certainly try and get it done. Pittman, Gabe, I'd try and do it. McLaurin's touch and go. I don't know. You know, if you had a little bit higher wide receiver than Deontay in this equation, you could maybe try and go get a Higgins. But the point is, you insert somebody in here with Drake to get a Higgins. You insert somebody in here with Drake to get a DK. You make those moves before it's too late. That's how you trade a Drake. And if Drake's available, you pick him up to make that kind of move. The last piece of news right here before we get into the topic at hand, Christian McCaffrey versus Breece Hall. Then we get to all the super chats. He's out. He's not going to play week 7. This guy's a big injury risk disappointment this year. It is what it is. Getting cut in a lot of leagues, I might add. I'm getting a DM on my text line, or a text message on my text line probably every 4 hours where somebody says Waller got dropped. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. That's a big number of people that are seeing Waller drop. That's not one guy. Like, Waller's getting cut. People can't afford to hang on to these players that are out and disappointing. This is crazy. Just 8 hours before CMC got traded, I traded away for Breece Hall and T. Higgins, says Fu. So what's crazy about it, Fu? Are you saying that you wish you didn't do it, or you're glad you did it? Because to be honest with you, no one knows which side you're talking about, because there are people that don't like this trade for CMC. It's hard for me not to like it. I like that CMC moved. I like that he's now in a situation where he's probably going to see more of a better offensive flow. Like more opportunities for touchdowns, which is what we want to see with him, right? The question is, can you facilitate to this guy enough? Can you run him enough? Will you run him too much? Because think about it. We'll get to it in a minute. We'll talk about CMC versus Breece Hall in a second. But Darren Waller, if he gets cut, you pick him up. I'm holding Darren Waller. I'm not trying to give him away for free. You're stuck. You have no options. If you own Waller, you're holding and waiting. You're not doing something crazy and getting rid of the guy for pennies on the dollar. It's just not a smart move. But you're also worried and you don't know what you're going to get moving forward. So, and for those that don't know, if you've been living under a rock or you're not really sure what to make of it and you kind of heard it, but you haven't really had time to look at news or watch any shows, or Christian McCaffrey traded to the San Francisco 49ers. And it's tough to know exactly what it means for Christian McCaffrey moving forward, what it means for Deebo Samuel. But I will say that if I had to break this down, I would probably say this. I would say that this move helps CMC get into a position to score more fantasy football points. However, how Shanahan uses him will determine and dictate his ability to be there for you all season long and not leave you hanging. On one hand, you have the San Francisco 49ers who are notorious for injuring their players. They're notorious for injuring their players. Breece Hall over CMC, stop it, says Zach. Zach, you know what's crazy about this? Zach, here's Zach. Breece Hall over CMC, stop it. Stop it, says Zach. Stop it. Zach, read the room. We don't even know which side you're on. We assume you're on the side of like Breece Hall can't be better than CMC, stop it. But we truly don't know 100% if you mean stop it, that Breece Hall is better than CMC and this move's bad for him. That's what's hilarious. You have a stance that you think is so rock solid and locked in, and that everybody agrees with you, but we don't fully know which side you're making that statement on, Zach. We don't know. We have no idea which side you're talking about, truly. And so that's what's hilarious about this, is you get people that come in and they say things like this, and it's like, we don't know which side you're arguing. See, thank you for clarifying, Zach. But to be honest with you, you don't have a case to say stop it. You don't get to use the stop it emoji, or the stop it line, bro, or any kind of eyeball emoji. Or it's not warranted, Zach. It's not warranted, because if you read the room, Zach, it'd be one thing, Zach, if let's say everybody agreed with you and I was doing a bold take here, Zach. That would be one thing. But if you read the room, how on earth do you have this stance? How do you have the ability to deploy the stop it phrase? How do you get to use that in this context, Zach? Because I think I've looked it up. Let me see if I got a book here. Hold on. Let's look up. I've got it right here. We got the World Book. I'm gonna look up under S. We're gonna look up stop it. So hold on. Stop it. You can use the word stop it on a social media or YouTube video if it is clear cut, no equivocation, no wavering ability at all on the topic in question. Therefore, you must get a majority vote in the chat of at least 80% in order for this to be able to be used. If you don't use the word stop it properly, or if you use it improperly, you take a lap. So we must bring this to the vote. Everybody, please, in the chat, please write CMC or Breece Hall. Let's vote and see if Zach is taking a lap. Voting commences. Let's go. Please vote. Breece Hall or CMC, go forward. Let's tally it up. Zach, if there's not a majority vote, you're taking a lap, young man. Everybody, please vote. Honestly, I don't want you just wanting Zach to take a lap. We want a true and absolutely fair vote here. Cast your votes now. Hall or Breece, CMC, CMC, Breece, CMC, Hall, CMC, Hall, CMC. Must be majority vote. Breece, Hall, CMC, Breece, Lightning. This is at least an even Steven type of vote, Zach. It's not looking good for you. You need a majority of CMCs in order to get out of this lap. Hall, either side debatable. Breece Hall, Breece Hall, Breece Hall, CMC. But I have both. Hall, 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 Hall. Breece Hall, CMC, Breece Hall, Breece Hall. The court has commenced that Zach can no longer use the term stop it in the chat. Zach, if you use the term stop it in the chat, you will be subject to a lap on every single count. You have recklessly thrown the stop it terminology around the show without any sense of responsibility, and therefore you are on probation here on the show. And if anybody sees Zach use a stop it phrase or any terminology relating to it, he's taking an immediate lap. He's on probation for at least 1 month. Back to the question at hand. Zach, we'll be watching. We'll be watching it, Zach. I mean, someone's got to take a stand when someone comes out with the unnecessary eyeball emojis, the unnecessary stop it's, the unnecessary phrases that have no correlation to what's being talked. Like, there's just no need for it. There's no need for it. You can't use it. You can't get away with using it and think that everybody's on the same page as you. Like, you have to read the room. You can't walk in and just say, stop it. Right, guys? Right? Right? Am I right? Yeah. No, you're not. You're not right. Read the room, bro. Read the room. Okay, so let's debate this. Zach, you might want to put your earmuffs on because this is going to be a very painful segment. So stop it. CMC is potentially walking into an amazing situation where he explodes in value. There's no doubt about that possibility being present. And that's probably what a guy like Zach is excited about. And I can understand why. And I can make a debate, an argument. I can sit here and go, I truly believe that CMC's got an improved situation in terms of opportunity, right? The question we have at hand here is that A, will Shanahan break him? B, will Shanahan use him properly? And C, is there enough football opportunities to go around? Are there enough footballs to go around for him to eat full course meals consistently? So here's what you got to factor in, because this is the only way you can break it down. Shanahan either builds this offense around him. Okay? He either builds this offense around him or it doesn't work. He's not going to get the checkdowns and reception opportunities that he got in Carolina, where the offense was built around that. I mean, he was force-fed. I think people look at this situation where, hold on, Zach's dropping a super chat. I'm not getting to the super chats yet. We will go through them, but we got to read what Zach's doing. Zach is a good sport, and he drops a super chat. Let's at least give Zach this opportunity to speak. Let me read it with the megaphone, though. Sorry, Zach, but you've earned this. Smitty, Breece Hall on the New York Jets over CMC on the 49ers? Stop it. Stop the madness. What's with this spelling of stop it? Is that so you're getting? Is that your way of getting away with not taking a lap because you're spelling it differently, or is that how you spell it? I'm not sure. Stop it, Schmitty. Stop the madness. Okay, now you're using too many exclamation points. I was okay with you trying to get cute with the spelling of stop it, but now you're using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exclamation points. 5 of them, bro. You can't use 5 exclamation points on a stance that doesn't even deserve 1. Zach, you're pushing it, bro. You're pushing it. Your super chat saving you at the moment. It's saving you at the moment. But I will say that I've got one thing I want to tell you, Zach. Stop it, Zach. Oh, back on point. You have a situation where Shanahan has to build this offense around him. You have a quarterback. It's like a pea shooter. He's a pea shooter. You have a nuclear weapon here in Deebo Samuel. You've got, at least a missile or two in the Ayuk and Kittle, variety. And then you've got this running back situation that can survive no matter who's in the backfield. And then you've got this pea shooter of a quarterback. Or you could kind of look at it like a funnel. So Jimmy G, here's Josh Allen, okay? Josh Allen's so good that he is a perfect circle, right? And all the talent can shove and distribute Josh Allen's goodness all over at an equal flow. Jimmy G is like a funnel, okay? It's like this. You have all this talent in the world, and you're shoving the talent into this funnel, which is Jimmy G. This pea shooter hole here can only distribute so much. So Jimmy G is very limiting toward the offense, and if the offense isn't built around CMC, then CMC is going to have to wait his turn for the footballs to trickle down into the funnel and be distributed little bits at a time to everybody, and there's too many mouths to feed. So the thing that I worry about in this situation is that if we're relying upon CMC to not get the passing work that he used to get, the reception work that he used to get, like in Carolina, because it was built around him, and we're sitting here saying, well, the Niners run the ball so well, we're going to run Christian McCaffrey up the gut 18 times a game, he's going to get hurt. So Christian McCaffrey's ability to stay healthy goes down if that's the plan of attack, and Kyle Shanahan wants to just run him up the gut all day long. Christian McCaffrey is a perfect balance of reception and rushing potential. And if they use him as like a Deebo Samuel wide back type player and a running back to the tune of 12 to 14 carries a game, he may survive and he may do very well. And he may be top 5 running back material go forward. The problem that I have, even in that context, is this. You have week number 7, week number 8, week number 9 is a bye, 10 through 17. And the problem is, in this week right here, if he plays at all, which he should, he's going to be very limited. So that's a questionable game. Will he be up to speed by week number 8? Maybe. If he is, then this thing could work out pretty well. If he's not, that's a questionable performance. What if that's only 10 points? Then he's got a bye week. So fantasy owners that have CMC, if he doesn't do much for these 3 games, then it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be, you guys don't have the patience. The fantasy football community, the fantasy football world doesn't have the patience to endure a 3-game stretch of no performance. You can't even read that. 3 games with no production. The fantasy football community, the fantasy football world in general, will lose it if he's missing from 7 to 9, even with that being a bye week. It's concerning to me. There's reason to be a little worried. Now, if he's full go by week 8, then I think it's a different story. And if we start feeling, okay, week 10 through 17 is going to be an explosion fest, this week 8 will feed us enough that it's okay. Everything will be okay. Everybody's got a bye week but the players that just had the bye. And so it's not that crazy to be like, okay, we're weathering through a bye week. The problem is right now he's kind of got 2 bye weeks because he probably won't be ultra effective. Now, maybe we're wrong. Maybe he gets 2 touchdowns and 20 yards. He ends up having a really decent salvage day of touchdown scoring. But it's almost like he's got 2 bye weeks right here. The crazy part is what happens with this week 8. That's what's going to determine. That's what's going to determine whether this ends up being a disaster or ends up being something that can be overlooked because, you know, it is what it is. He's going to have a rough week 7 maybe, have a good week 8, and then a bye week, and then go back on a tear. My thing is this. Breece Hall is already in full motion, and I think it was Zach's Super Chat. What was Zach's Super Chat where he said, where'd he go? Let me go get Zach. And I'm going through the Super Chats in a minute. Just hang tight. Zach's Super Chat, after we sent him on a lap, and he was a good sport to drop one, said that Breece Hall on the New York Jets over CMC on the Niners. Stop it. Just stop the madness, Smitty. What's wrong with the New York Jets? What's wrong with Zach? Have you been watching football? Zach, Zach must be a Niner fan, first of all. Because this stance feels very Niner-like. But Zach, have you been watching football lately? The New York Football Jets are doing pretty good, bro. And they're moving the football, matriculating the football down the field at a very consistent rate. And this guy, Breece Hall, he can have 100 yards receiving. He can have 100 yards rushing. He can have a receiving touchdown. He can have a rushing touchdown. He could have both. This guy's a 100 total yard monster. And the crazy part, Zach, is that Breece Hall is the new CMC. You keep saying stop it, but Breece Hall is the new Christian McCaffrey, bro. Christian McCaffrey is Breece Hall. Breece Hall is Christian McCaffrey. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel, my guy. And it's really strange that you don't see the correlation between the two, because Breece Hall had a game where he caught 2 passes and they were both 50-yard receptions. This guy is Christian McCaffrey. He's the new Christian McCaffrey. And he's Breece Hall. He's not Christian McCaffrey. Let me take that back. He's Breece Hall, baby. He's Breece Hall. There's a reason. Let me look for my Christian McCaffrey buttons on my board here. No. No, I don't have a Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, I don't have a Christian McCaffrey button. But what I do have.
Get breached. Get breached. Get breached.
Got him.
Get ready for it, Zach. I know it's going to be painful to watch. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Breece Hall is a top 5 overall player going forward. Breece Hall is absolutely a top 5 running back. But Breece Hall is a top 5 player going forward. And so it's time to rock and roll. Can I get a vote one more time? Can I get a vote? Breece Hall or Christian McCaffrey, go forward. Breece Hall, Christian McCaffrey, go forward. Someone said bro went on a different super chat again. Bro went on a different account to super chat again. I'll have to look for it. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll look for it. You can't put me in timeout, but I refuse to be silent. CMC over. Oh, hey, by the way, if one of my mods put him in timeout, don't put him in timeout. Don't put him in timeout. I don't agree. I don't agree with it. He deserved to be put in timeout. So whatever moderator I have put him in timeout, I'm not good with that. Like we're going back and forth. This is a cordial relationship between Zach and I. And Zach's a big part of the show right now. Like the last thing I want to do is have him in timeout. What moderator put him in timeout? Raise your hand. It's okay if you did. I'm not mad, but we can't be putting people in timeout just because they have a differing opinion. If they're really disrespectful, then we're putting them in timeout. So my moderators, make sure you're on point with this. Don't be putting somebody in timeout because they have a differing opinion. Zach's super chatting. He's helping the show. He's getting put in timeout by a moderator. He comes back and super chats again. Zach has just spent $10 trying to just communicate. So I don't want Zach put in timeout. So anyway. Why would you time out a guy with a different opinion? That's what I just said, Trey. I just said that. Okay. No timeout, just take a lap. Okay. So just so my moderators know, don't be doing that. Don't be playing dictator. We're good to go. If someone's disrespectful and trying to tear down the show, absolutely. Okay, you can put me in timeout, but I refuse to be silent. CMC over Breece Hall. Clickbait. Stop it. Titans fan, by the way. You know what's funny? Is clickbait what? Clickbait what? Clickbait what? So, Zach, can you call up real quick? And I don't want anybody else calling but Zach. Call up Zach. Clickbait.
Call into the show. Call into.
No, moderators, don't put these guys in timeout. Okay, just for disagreeing. Call into the show, Zach. If you call in and you're not Zach, I'm hanging up on you. This is between Zach and I right now. So Zach, dial into the show, and we're gonna have a conversation, plain and simple. Because when you say something like clickbait, what did his super chat say? What did it say? It said CMC over Breece Hall. CMC over Breece Hall. Clickbait. Stop it. Yeah, you're live on the show. Who's this?
This is Zach.
Is it Zach? Zach, what is your second? What is your second account? What is your second account?
Super OG.
Okay, so you said that really quickly. So I do believe this is probably Zach. And can you in the chat?
This is me.
Can you in the
Stop it.
Can you in the chat write "This is me" with your handle? Let's just get confirmation, because I don't want to have this whole conversation with somebody that's pretending to be Zach. Like, it's gonna waste a lot of time. All right, we're waiting for confirmation from Zach.
I did.
All right, Zach said, "Let's go." Okay, is that the one you put? Let's go.
Yeah, that's my second account.
It's me, baby. Okay. So, Zach, let me just say something. Number one, I didn't silence you. I don't know what Mod did. They know not to now. Your super chat. You dropped $10 to get your point across. That wasn't me. I'm not about silencing somebody's opinion. I'm about, you come in here, you try and destroy the chat. You try and be disrespectful. You come in and you say you're a clown. And then people say, why did you block the guy that comes in and says you're a clown over and over? That's disrespectful. You're not being disrespectful. We're playing around a little bit. You're a good sport. But I will say this. You saying that it's clickbait, you're essentially telling me that I'm out here with the Fugazi show and that I'm just putting stuff up to get clicks. And you're also saying that my advice that Breece Hall is greater than McCaffrey is hogwash, and that I'm willing to sacrifice my brand and my reputation to just get clicks on one video. Do you understand what you're saying when you say that it's a clickbait video? It's not, Zach. I'm doing a whole show. We'll be live for 2 or 3 hours. I'm doing a whole show around why I select Breece Hall over CMC. And a majority, if not a little over 50% of the chat agrees with me. So explain yourself. Other than your opinion that you think that I'm wrong, explain how that's clickbait. It's an opinion, bro. Just like your opinion is your opinion. How is it clickbait?
I mean, it's a little clickbaity.
How?
And you're making content, so you have to be clickbaity a little bit. But if it's your opinion, it's your opinion.
Yeah, it's not clickbaity, because like, do I realize it's going to get attention? Like, if you're trying to describe that in that sense, sure. Like, I'm not going to make a thumbnail that says Christian McCaffrey is good. Like, that's not an attractive thumbnail or title. Of course, I'm trying to spark people's interest, but I'm not trying to deceive people into getting into my video and then find out that I like Christian McCaffrey more or equal to Breece Hall. Breece Hall, and the thing that you say about, oh, they're the Jets, you like Breece Hall and the Jets over Christian McCaffrey on the Niners. Number one, I'm not saying you're necessarily off base by expecting top 1 to 5 running back numbers out of Christian McCaffrey. Is there a world where Christian McCaffrey is the number 1 running back go forward? There is. Like, I can admit that. You're closed-minded in the fact that you don't even think Breece Hall could compete with Christian McCaffrey for the number 1 overall running back spot. To me, that's closed-minded when he's doing nothing but drop fire, bro. He's the hottest running back in fantasy football right now, and he's Christian McCaffrey-esque. Like, how is that not even something you would consider?
I think Breece Hall and there is a world where Breece Hall finishes the year number 1 running back.
So how
in fantasy football?
Okay, so I appreciate you admitting that, but how does that jive with anything you've said already? Because I mean,
just because there's a world where he finishes number 1 overall, it doesn't mean it's even remotely close to more likely than CMC.
Yeah, but your reaction was as if it was not like this is crazy talk. This is everything you've said up to this point has been this is crazy talk, and you just admitted that there's a possibility that it could happen, and maybe you think that the CMC side's more likely, and I appreciate that. Like you say that, and I appreciate your take. You don't appreciate anything that isn't your own take, and the thing
I don't.
Yeah, at least you admit it, bro. At least you admit it. But you spent $10 to get your point across, and I appreciate that. I also did not put you in timeout, so make sure you understand that. But second of all, I would say stop throwing the word around like stop it, and the Jets are the Jets, and Breece Hall on the Jets. Have you been watching football, Zach? The Jets are moving the football down the field. Like, Breece Hall is looking like Christian McCaffrey. That's not something that's evolving or developing. He looks it already. He's doing it. The other day, he had 2 catches, 50 yards a pop, 100 yards receiving off 2 catches. He didn't do it one time. He did it 2 plays in the same game, catching a 50-yard reception. This dude's electric. He's got ability to navigate space, much like Christian McCaffrey. He looks like Christian McCaffrey on the field. He looks like Breece Hall. He's his own player. But this guy looks like Christian McCaffrey. I'm just astonished that you don't think that he's got more than a small shot at being the number, like you said, number 1 running back, which What shocks me, given your stance, that you would even say, is there a possibility he's the number one running back go forward? You didn't just say top 5. You actually said number one running back. That's why I'm astonished of your stance, is because you even admitted it's not just he has a shot at being a top 5 or 10 running back in that New York Jets offense. You said number 1, bro.
Yeah, there is a possibility, but it's highly unlikely, and Christian McCaffrey has a much better chance to succeed in Kyle Shanahan's 49ers offense than Breece Hall does in the New York Jets moving forward. Zach Wilson cannot move the ball at all, and as soon as – I know people are already targeting on Breece Hall, but it's going to happen more and more as the tape goes on, and he may be an outlier that does finish number 1. It's a possibility. But I would say, given the two circumstances, given the two players, it's much more likely that Ian finishes ahead of Breece Hall, unless there's an injury.
What? No. You can't just come in and act like that's your way out. That's part of the problem, bro. Christian McCaffrey comes with this injury risk that's embedded in his value, there's no, but if he gets hurt. If he gets hurt, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? Because Christian McCaffrey has a very high likelihood of getting hurt. And guess where he's going? This team you keep mentioning as being the most glorious landing spot. Are you kidding me? The Niners. The Niners hurt all of the running backs, bro. It's their aggressive, whether it's their aggressive practicing on top of the fact that they don't stretch, on top of the fact that they literally have the most aggressive playbook and abusive playbook to their running backs. And the fact that Kyle Shanahan injures all of his players, including Trey Lance. And after Trey Lance went down, dude runs Deebo Samuel up the gut right before halftime on a meaningless play. Shanahan doesn't know what he's doing. Shanahan's not a good coach.
Kyle Shanahan injured Trey Lance.
Absolutely. 100%, bro. You want me to tell you multiple ways? Not protecting him. By not investing in the offensive line, by worrying about this plan B of Jimmy Garoppolo all season, tying up all the money on that, not improving the offensive line because of it, running him up the gut like he's a fullback. He absolutely injured Trey Lance.
Bro, he's not the GM.
Okay.
Those are all GM issues.
No, they're not. Shanahan is responsible. Shanahan is the one that making the decision to keep Jimmy G on the roster the entire offseason and not improve the offense. No, it's not a great move because it's the move that led to Trey Lance getting hurt. That's the most backwards logic I've ever heard in my life. Oh, it was good that this happened. No, it's not. He should have invested in the offensive line. He should have not run his quarterback up the gut. They're teaching this kid to slide. He finally slides. And remember the first time he slid, it was his first time he ever slid in the history of him playing football. He said it was very unnatural. He slid in a game, and he's like, they're teaching me how to do that. You teach the kid to slide, you tell him to protect himself, then you run him up the gut like he's Derrick Henry, and you don't protect him. That's getting your player. It has nothing to do with the GM. The GM's out. The GM doesn't make the decisions, bro. The person that makes the decisions is Shanahan. It's John and Kyle. They're both responsible. I shouldn't say it's all on Shanny, but they're both responsible. And Shanahan is notorious for getting his players injured. And the fact that he focused on not protecting plan A and kept worrying about plan B, and now plan B is in effect, everyone thinks it was a genius move. It wasn't a genius move. Kyle Shanahan is notorious. Running Deebo Samuel up the gut on a meaningless play right before halftime after Trey just went down shows how careless he is with his weapons, bro.
Okay, I disagree. But that's neither here nor there when it comes to CMC. All I'm saying is in the 49ers offense, the running backs succeed, and unless Breece Hall is an absolute Saquon Barkley outlier, he will not finish ahead of CMC.
Well, that's what a lot of people think he is, bro. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Read the room. Everyone believes that Breece Hall is the 1.1 in Dynasty. He's the 1.1 in Dynasty. He's the 1.1 overall player in 2023 redraft. Like, if you're drafting today for 2023 and you're not playing 2022 out, you're like, hey, Zach, let's have a 2023 draft, but we don't use them until week 1 next year. Let's go. 1.1, Breece Hall.
Of course, the number one rookie running back who's popping off right now is going to be the 1.1 overall.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is this year, right now, who's going to finish better? Who has a higher?
I'm telling you,
likelihood
Breece
to
Hall. I'm telling you, like
Okay,
I respect you saying Christian McCaffrey. The problem is you're not respecting the Breece Hall point of view. You're like I respect your Christian McCaffrey point of view, but from the onset of this, you're saying stop it, clickbait. There's no way. This is crazy. Like I don't understand how your stance is so locked in. Do you have the Gray's Book Sports Almanac from Back to the Future, bro? Is Doc sitting right next to you right now? Like, where did you come up with this? Like that you know the future. This is one of the most injury prone players, and I'm not on here to say that I don't think CMC can do very well, bro. I'm not on here to say that. I'm on here to say that I would rather have Breece Hall. If you gave me Breece Hall, like here's the other thing, Zach, you got to understand the context here. This is a world where a lot of people agree with you. And my show is to try and be ahead of the curve. It's not clickbait, Zach. It's me trying to tell people, guess what? You can get Breece Hall and something because of people like Zach out there. Because of people like you, which I respect you. But we need Zachs in this world. Because if we don't have Zachs, we can't get Breece Hall and Gabe Davis for Christian McCaffrey. So you got to understand where I'm even coming from. It's Breece Hall over CMC. Well, great. If Christian McCaffrey, to a majority of people or half the people out there, if he's worth more, like Zach says, you don't even let me get to my point of my show where I'm saying take advantage of it. Take advantage of the fact that we in this community overwhelmingly like Hall more than CMC, when outside of our world, it's not so much the case because Zach, there are Zachs out there. And so therefore, go get a Pittman and Hall for CMC. Go get so that's the whole point here, bro, is that this is bold. My show is bold. Do you think people laughed at me when I said Pierce was going to be a top 10 running back? Absolutely, Zach. But did I tell people to go draft him as a top 10 running back? No, it was take advantage of the fact that people don't see it. Just like this show is built around take advantage of what you're saying, Zach, which I appreciate, respect, but because of the way I feel, we're all going to clean up if we can go get Breece Hall straight up in a trade for CMC and get something additional to help our lineup out. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what my content's about.
Hey, I would give you, with my current team, if I had Breece Hall on it as a running back, I'd give you Breece Hall and Cortland Sutton for CMC.
I don't want Cortland Sutton, Zach. Give me somebody else. Give me somebody else, Zach. It's a no-go. Let me show you how I'm trading. Zach, this is CMC, bro. He's on the Niners, bro. You got to give me more than that. This is Breece Hall. He's a rookie. We don't know if he's going to fully be, he might hit a rookie wall, Zach. You got to give me something different. Who do you have? Do you have Gabe Davis? Do you have Pittman? Who are you going to throw in?
Bro, you'd rather have Gabe Davis over Cortland Sutton rest of the season?
Yes, Zach, I would. I'd rather have Gabe Davis over Cortland Sutton. What do I look like? Do I look like a brand new fantasy football content creator?
I got one thing to say, and do you know what it is?
What? Stop! Zach.
Stop it!
Zach, do you really think that this chat room is going to agree with you? He hangs up. He really believes that Sutton's better than Gabe Davis? Like, if anything, we're creating a stop button. And that's the most ridiculous stance he had. That stance is more ridiculous than CMC is so much better. You got Gabe Davis all day long. Zach, you just threw yourself under the bus. I think every part of your argument just got thrown into the toilet after it was put in a blender and just chopped up and flushed down the toilet when you came in with it'd be one thing if you're like, I kind of like Sutton better. You just came in and just played your hand, bro. Showed your hand to everybody. You thought I was crazy. You thought I was crazy for liking Gabe Davis. An absolute monster, bro. This dude's a monster over Cortland. I play for Nathaniel Hackett Sutton. Zach. Stop it. Stop it. That's insane. We're going to give Zach one more lap.
Take a look.
Unbelievable. I appreciate Zach calling in. He was a good sport about it. I've been a Niner fan for over 40 years. Shanahan ruined Trey. He's a great play caller, designer, but horrible play caller. And Jimmy is average Breece Hall all day. Look at this. Niner fan for 40 years. He's got Breece Hall on his avatar. How do you think of that? How do you like that, Zach? I love that, though. I love that Zach came in. Zach held his own until he came out and said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did you just say that you'd rather have Gabe Monster Davis over Cortland Sutton? That's when Gabe's, or not Gabe, what's his name? Zach. That's when Zach's argument went down the drain. When he decided that Gabe Davis was a peon compared to Cortland Sutton. Game over. Real quickly, before we get into the super chats, because we got a lot of them piling up, we got 450 of you in here and only 173 thumbs up. Please punch those thumbs up. Zach's giving us a couple thumbs down. That's okay. Zach. We still love you and appreciate you. We got 173 people, hopefully 447 that give us a proper thumbs up. Hit that thumb up button. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Smitty, talking to you with Mario.
What's up, Mario?
Not much. I just got off work and I tuned into the show. I heard Zach trying to call you out. I didn't like it very much, but kind of showed he's behind saying Cortland Sutton was better than Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I appreciate Zach. Like, let me just say this out there right now. And again, to my mods, don't be blocking nobody for having an opinion. Zach can be respectful. Zach saying what and stop it, that's not being disrespectful. That's me playing on Zach's words and having fun with them in a sense. But nobody should be getting blocked or timed out for being respectfully disagreeable. You know what I mean? So I give Zach his props. Let's give Zach a standing ovation, actually, for calling in. But at the same time, like, it was funny to see him, like, throw his whole argument down the toilet, bro, with that. That caught me off guard. Yeah, Zach is back. Well. Yeah, Zach, don't worry. I've told the moderators not to block you. Zach, as long as you're respectful, you can disagree all you want till your heart's content. Everybody kind of likes you, Zach. I won't lie. But Zach would have given me Gabe Davis and Breece Hall for CMC. He would have gift wrapped it for me. So that would have been a big win. That would have been a big win. My question for you, Mario, do you feel like CMC in San Francisco hurts Deebo Samuel? Because I'm worried about Deebo because I've got to think that, like,
I think it hurts him significantly. I mean, that's going to take carries, a whole lot of carries away from him. CMC is just an all-around great running back. He could run up the gut, run up side, like he's plenty of touchdowns.
What you doing there, buddy? All right, Mario, I couldn't hear a word you were saying at the end there. I don't know if you were in a tunnel or whatever. Let me turn the phone lines off for now. Mario, appreciate the call. You got all jargled, and I don't know what happened to you, so we had to hang up on you. We got to move on. Appreciate you. I'll open the phone lines again if you want to dial back after. Let's get to these super chats and answer some of these amazing questions relating to all this stuff we're talking about right here. This one right here is from Swizz. Looking for Smitty approval. Want to trade CMC, Evans for either Walker and Diggs or Breece Hall and Adams. I would trade CMC and Evans for Breece Hall and Adams in a heartbeat because Adams has had that bye week. CMC could have a bye week this week in a sense, whether he sits or plays, and then he has the bye week in week 9. So it's a home run all around. Evans for Adams, it's crush that. That side is an absolute smash. And not only would I give you that approval, but I would give you this button if you get it done.
Got him.
So absolute smash on that. Okay, next question's from Overcome. Overcome says, should I trade Cook away for Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Pittman? Let me put it this way, Overcome. I would trade Cook for Amon-Ra in a millisecond. 1-for-1. If you get Pittman, I am 100% pressing this button.
King 25 code 428. Dispatch Vito Popo. Popo has been dispatched.
I mean, it's clear as day. Like, this is the easiest trade question I've been asked in probably 2 weeks, Overcome. So if you pull that off, please race back and let us know that you've completed that. If that's your idea of cooking up a trade offer, you're going to get this back at you.
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
I mean, your owners, the owner that you're trying to trade with is going to come to me and say, hey, this guy Overcome is trying to get my Amon-Ra and Pittman for his Dalvin Cook, and I'm going to say, what?
You are offer sex.
So, by the way, Ron Navy in the building. Ron Navy is the high super chatter of the year with a 765 on one single live stream. Look, we've said it before. Someone asked me what it would take to do a live stream during the season, 24 hours straight. And we said someone dropped a 2K, I would do an in-season live stream, 24 hours straight. We might do it anyway, and I've got some ideas for it, but that just know that that's in the works. We're looking at it. I'm looking at it, and I think you guys will enjoy it. If I do decide to do an in-season 24-hour live stream, it would be during Sunday games so that I could watch the games in this chair and have you all hang out with me. It would be a good time. So hang tight for that. But someone could initiate that at any moment by dropping that super chat. But that was someone asked me, like, what would it be worth it to do it? It's hard on the body. It's taxing on the mind. I'm the first fantasy football analyst to do a 24-hour live stream by themselves. I did it 4 years ago. I did it again 3 years ago, or was it 2.5 years ago? And they're brutal. They're brutal. And I do them by myself. I'm the only one doing it. Some people have tried it since, but your boy Smitty, tried that first 4 years ago, and it was insane. People thought I was insane. We had guests on. We had Matthew Berry on, I believe, during the second one. We had the footballers on or something during the first one. It was a good little time. Looking to trade Evans and Gabe Davis. Trade targets in mind, or do I just keep them? I like Gabe Davis. You're not getting enough for Gabe Davis for me to trade him. I think that, you entertain offers that come to your door when people come and knocking, but I'm not trading Gabe Davis. Would I trade Evans? Yeah, I'm trying to get a bye-week wide receiver like St. Brown or Adams, and I give up more if I need to from my bench. But that's a huge way to win your league, is to get an Adams or a St. Brown that has already had their bye week. You get them on your roster using a wide receiver that's injury-prone in Evans, and that already has not yet had his bye. Geno or Matt Ryan this week? Let's leave that to the chat, because that's a 50-50 call, and I want you to get some groupthink on that one. Guys, do you like Geno or Matt Ryan better walking into week number 7? I kind of feel like my initial reaction is that Matt Ryan's playing well. He's connecting with Pittman, and JT's back. So I kind of feel like Matt Ryan might be the better option or the safer option, but Geno's certainly got the capability of proving everyone wrong, because he's been doing it all year. But I think I lean Ryan in the current circumstances. But I would love to know what everyone thinks. You might get a lot of Genos. I got Matty Ice. We got Ryan, Geno, Matt, Geno, Ryan with JT back, Geno. So it's pretty divided. I'd say it's about 60% based on my eyeball assessment of being something that's in the favor of Geno from the chat. So you decide, my guy. You decide. I wish I could give you an answer, but it's a 50-50 type call. Clearly by the chat, or a 60-40 call. Trade Ramondre and Devontae for ETN and Gabe Davis. Give me ETN and Gabe Davis all day long. Zach might disagree, but we love Gabe Davis. Hey, Zach, let me tell you something, broski. Gabe Davis isn't just good. He's low-end wide receiver 1 capable, Zach. Low-end wide receiver 1 capable, this Gabe Davis character. He's no wide receiver 2 or 3, Zach. He's a wide receiver 1, Zach. And so appreciate that super chat. This one's from Deadman. Deadman says, good lateral trades for Cook. Need another wide receiver, and Walker owner won't budge. Been trying for weeks. Lateral trade. If you're going after a lateral running back move. Pierce would appear to be lateral. Kenneth Walker, as you said, lateral, but that guy's not budging. I would say, Aaron Jones and something using Cook would be good because I believe Aaron Jones and Cook are in the same boat. I don't think one is safer than the other. And I think that I like Aaron Jones a little bit more because I think the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, as Aaron Rodgers alluded to after the Week 6 loss, they're going to get back to simplicity. And that, to me, tells me they're going to try and run the football and funnel it through Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones hasn't dropped off talent-wise. It's just the offense is decimated without Adams. It's been rocked. Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers, they made the biggest mistake they could have made by getting rid of Adams. They didn't need to. They could have held strong. Adams didn't have the control of the situation. Adams wouldn't have not accepted, the money and played in Green Bay. He would have stayed. He would have played. He had to. He didn't have control. It wasn't like he was an unrestricted free agent. So the Green Bay Packers screwed up royally, getting rid of Devontae Adams when they had a short shelf life and a returning Aaron Rodgers. It was a debacle. It was a ridiculous move by the Green Bay Packers. Their season's in question and in the tank at this point. And the only shot they have is to try and get back to the run, act like they played when Adams would be banged up and missing for 2, 3, 4 games with like a foot or an ankle injury, and they put all of it on the run and Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones would have like a 17 TD season when they're leaning upon Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones has got a short shelf life go forward, but I think he's got enough left in the tank to be a top 5 to 12 running back. And I give you a wide range there because it is a very ambiguous situation. But Aaron Jones is one of the better go-get running backs in 2022 go forward Week 7 on, because he's got the potential to be a top 5 to 12 running back. 5 to 12. It's a big range, but he has the potential to dance anywhere in there on a weekly basis. So Aaron Jones would be fantastic. Wide receivers, St. Brown, Adams already had their bye. Lateral trade using Cook. You might have to throw something in. That's where I'm taking that, dead man. And I think it wins a league if you get one of those wide receivers, St. Brown or Adams, with using Cook. Offer Debo and J-Rob for Dobbins owner. He has Chase. To the Dobbins owner who has Chase. So you're giving up Debo and J-Rob for Chase. Smash all day long.
You've just been Smitty approved.
That would be simplistic. Overcome. I like where you're headed with these trade offers. The last couple, you're on point, bro. That's exactly the way I would take them. You're thinking very, very much like the way I would think in these situations. Trade away Diggs and Kamara and get JT and AJ Brown. I take JT and AJ Brown and I run from them veto police. And I do it quick before it happens, bro. They're on their way. Get in the car.
King 25 code 428. Dispatch Vito Popo. Popo has been dispatched. King 25 out.
And I know what a lot of people are saying in the chat. They're like, he wouldn't accept that, blah, 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 on the other Chase offer. You don't know that. Do you know how many trades I get that come across my trade desk, bro, that are like literally the deals that we're talking about, where it's literally nothing but horrible, acceptance offers that my people are sending out lowball offers on. And it happens all the time. So I know your natural inclination is to say this is the negative Noah is going to say something. And I'm not necessarily directing this at you who said that. I don't even remember who said it. But the negative Noah is going to say, or the pessimistic Peter is going to be like, no one's going to accept that, so why send it? Well, then why do I have rooms full? And when I say rooms full, I mean like the 400 people that are in here right now, the 406, where half of you haven't hit the thumb up button. If you could punch that, that would help me. But half of this room is probably doing deals right now that the other half thinks, oh, that can't happen. Well, pessimistic Peter, why don't you try sending out one of those offers once in a while? And why don't you pick up the phone, Peter, and say, hey, Bob, let's do a deal today. We're not getting off the phone until we do a deal. Hey, that's exciting. Someone says, Smitty, you shouldn't telegraph your idea of wanting to do a trade. That is different. Telegraphing who you want is different than telegraphing that you want to get a deal done. You know what makes me feel good? And think about this. Think about this. You tell me if you disagree. I have a feeling you're not going to disagree because I know I'm right. But if I called you up and let's say you're in a league, first of all, what excites you more than trading? The answer is not really much, right? Okay, so if I called you up and I said, hey, Ron Navy, I'm not getting off the phone until we get a trade executed. And we're in a league together. That's an exciting thing. Like, that's not telegraphing. That's not making you look desperate. That's not making you look, that's awesome. You're like, I got a trading partner here. And sometimes people are willing to trade with the trading partner just to keep that thing going. Because you're the only one making trades. No one else is calling up and saying, let's get a deal done on this call. No one's doing that. And it's disappointing too. Because you're in a league and you want it to be active. You're in a league where people aren't making any trades or doing any deals. And it's depressing. And if someone called you up and said, or texted you, let's get a deal done, and call them. I know it's old school and you don't want to pick up the phone and you're only a texter now. Okay, you're only a texting Tommy and that's all you've ever known. And you don't even know what a phone is. You probably don't even know what a rotary phone is. If I told you what it was, you'd never picked up a phone in your life. You've never checked your voicemail. You're one of those people who's never checked the voicemail in your life. You got 877 voicemails from mom and dad who you know leave voicemails. They don't have a choice. It's in their nature. I'm leaving a voicemail. And you don't even check it. You don't even listen to them. That's you. That's your problem. Because if you would pick up the phone and say, hey, Petrified Peter, we're not getting off this call until you and I get a deal done. He just lights up. He's like, this is awesome. It's like Christmas came. Everyone loves to make deals and trades. If they don't, they're not even answering the phone, and they're from the quality assurance department at your work. They're not doing deals anyway. The quality assurance quack in your league that won't ever do trades. He's too conservative. He's conservative calling. He's not trading no matter what you offer him. You could walk out of the draft and say, hey, I'll give you my second round pick that I got for the number 1 overall player. I'm sorry, I'll take your second round player for the number 1 overall player that I just took. And this is what conservative Colin would say. No matter what you offered him, you could offer him JT right now for his Fournette. And he'd say, yeah, I'm just going to let it play out on Sunday and see what I've got. That's the worst owner. I can't stand those. Those are always, always saying no. Eric's with an A, spelled with an A. Those are the most awful owners to have in your league. Never trading Noahs. That literally you could offer them the world. They'd still say no and give you that dumb line. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wait until Sunday. Or when it's like 3 weeks before the season starts. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let it play out the way that I drafted my team. I really like them. I really like the guys I drafted. I'm going to go ahead and wait until we get to week 4 before I even answer a voicemail or open a text and then have a conversation about maybe doing a trade week 10. That's a guy that trades only once every 4 or 5 years. It's like leap year. Every 3 years maybe. He might pull off a deal in week 11 and that's it. It's like you have a celebration when this guy makes a trade. That is Petrified Peter. I don't know why I even got on that tangent. But yes, go get AJ Brown and JT and run for the hills. Wayne says someone in my league wants my Breece for Kamara. Well, you tell them. You
are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
And that was 1 hour and 18 minutes into the show if you want to reference that link and time frame for them. And the worst part is this is a dynasty league. So I don't care if you're getting Kamara, Amari, and Kirk. I don't care about Amari and Kirk in a dynasty. Like, Kirk's playing well. Earmuffs, Ron Navy. Kirk's playing well. I'm not saying he's trash. But if you think Kirk and Amari are going to push the needle a little bit, and get you into a Breece Hall. I've got a James Robinson that I could sell you. A James Robinson bridge that I can sell you. And let's get that acquisition done right away. Because I think it's a really good bridge and it needs a home. And I'll sell it to you right now. Breece Hall, bro. Don't even consider it. You have the 1.1. You have, Wayne, the 1.1 fantasy football player right now. And his name is Breece Hall.
Get Breece. Get Breece. Get Breece. Get Breece. Get Breece.
So, I will say this. I'll say that I'd entertain any offer, but I can tell you right now, the 1.1 Breece Hall is a hard thing to think of that I'm going to be trading. I just don't see an it'd have to be like a Kenneth Walker and an A.J. Brown. And even that, I don't know, bro. Even that, I might just be like, I don't want to trade Breece. You're going to have to give me more than that. I mean, that's something I would think about because I do love Walker. Walker's top 10. Breece Hall's top 5. Breece Hall's number 1. But it'd have to be something crazy like that. It'd have to be JT in Dynasty, and you give me Gabe Davis for me to trade Breece Hall in Dynasty. It's just not going to happen. It's just not a move that's going to be easy to pull off with me. I'm going to be difficult. PPR, 1 running back, 1 flex, Ramondre, Pierce, Swift, Godwin. Think Pierce and Godwin as worried about Harris returning and Swift injury. Thoughts? I would agree with that in a sense. I would say Pierce and Godwin's your safest play. But if we get word that Ramondre is going to carry the load and that Harris will be limited, Ramondre is a top 5 to 6 running back play to most everybody on the planet Earth. So that's it. That's when we didn't think Harris was going to play. So I think we kind of need more information. But for now, you could set it and walk away without worrying, even if you forgot to check that your safe players in there are going to be Pierce and Godwin. But yeah, definitely, Swift would be the go-to guy if he's playing. You got to put Pierce and Swift in if he's playing. But at this point, I kind of feel like we're looking at Swift maybe missing this game. Wide receivers are Chase, Evans, Brady. Nice job. Nice team, broski. This one is from John. John says, just traded Zeke and Bills D for Higgins. Yeah, big win, bro.
You've just been...
Way to rip off your grandma, bro. Way to rip off your grandma. You want a pat on the back for that? I'll give you one. Got Waddle, A.J. Brown, Devontae. Trades to make. Go after more trades like that, bro. Waddle and maybe Damian Harris since he's back. Jeff Wilson, I've been telling you to trade for weeks now. He's just waiver wire fodder at this point. Drake and Waddle for a slight wide receiver upgrade into a potential Hill or Adams or Diggs. I don't know if you're gonna pull it off, but you could try. Or you got Adams already. So go after Diggs, go after Hill, go after potentially AJ Brown. I like AJ Brown a little more. I'd trade Drake and Waddle for AJ Brown. I would trade Damian Harris and Waddle for AJ Brown, but try to shoot from that point up. Don't go lower than that. But there are a lot of wide receivers you could target by adding in that extra RB. And Drake would get it done. I think people are going to see Drake now that JK's out for an extended period of time with the knee surgery. You're going to see Drake be an attractive sell, throw in. Hey, Smitty, I'm watching you from Brazil.
To the moon.
Or to Brazil. Appreciate you watching from Brazil, my guy. We're all over the place here. So I have CMC and someone offered me Chubb plus Devontae. Who wins? I probably say that I want more. I don't know. Would you guys rather have Chubb and Devontae or CMC? Let's see what we can offer Gabriel. Gabriel, what time is it in Brazil, by the way? I would love to know. Who likes Chubb and Devontae over CMC? Let's see what you guys think. If you can get it, that's a smash. I mean, Chubb is playing amazing, bro. I kind of feel like these next 3 games being a little bit worrisome for me with CMC's volume. And remember, it's Devontae Smith. It's not Devontae Adams. Chubb and Devontae. Gus to the moon. Gus who? Gus the bus? No, bro. Breece, Jacobs, Chubb. Most everyone's saying Chubb, bro, and I agree. I'm excited about CMC. I'm not gonna lie, like he's a fun player to own right now with all the buzz and everything. But I think Chubb's playing out of his mind. You got to take Chubb. Wide receiver room is Debo, Godwin, Keenan Allen, and Myers. Who should I be going after to potentially improve? Just got Gallup for ETN. Just traded Gallup for ETN. Trading Gallup for ETN is a smash. Go get ETN while you still can, please. Please go get ETN while you still can. Please don't come back in this live stream after week 7 and go, how do I get ETN now that he's blowing up? Because I'm going to tell you it's too late, pal. It's too late. Like, you've been warned. Wide receiver room, Debo, Godwin, Keenan Allen. I'd trade Keenan Allen on his way back with Godwin, try and get one wide receiver. Godwin and Keenan Allen for an AJB. Godwin and Keenan Allen for a Hill. Godwin and Keenan Allen for, anyone right around that territory. Would I try and trade Debo and Keenan Allen for a slight upgrade into an Adams without already had his bye week? Absolutely. Would I trade? I don't know if I trade Debo and Godwin for that, but would I trade Keenan Allen and Debo for I'm talking like a 1 or 2 slot upgrade because I worry about Debo falling. I really worry about Debo badly. So I would love to get into a safer vehicle. St. Brown, go get St. Brown using Debo and Keenan Allen. You might be able to pull that off, Sterling. Appreciate you. CMC for Amon-Ra and Lamar. Wait, what? CMC for Amon-Ra and Lamar or Mahomes. Superflex. Whoa, wait. Bro, Myers, this can't be a real offer. You're in a Superflex, and you're telling me you can get Amon-Ra and Lamar or Mahomes in a Superflex for just Christian McCaffrey. Number one, Mahomes or Lamar would go ahead of Christian McCaffrey in a Superflex draft. And Amon-Ra is still a second-round equivalent player in a Superflex draft. He's like bottom of the second, even in a Superflex. He's that good. You're telling me you can get the better player in Lamar or Mahomes in a Superflex and still get a second-round monster in Superflex in Amon-Ra, and all you have to give is Christian McCaffrey? I call cap. If you pull this off, Myers, you're going to be the sorcerer of the day. If you're just coming up with this offer, you're going to get a door slammed so hard on your face, your friend's never going to call you again. Your number's going to be blocked like you're some kind of like political auto dialer, that's been blowing up our phones the past few weeks. Man, my phone, I get 18 missed calls every 2 or 3 hours from these political auto dialers. I don't know what's going on with that stuff. It's madness. I don't know if you guys are getting the same thing. But that's what I'd feel like. I'd rather talk to one of those individuals than Myers calling me up and saying, hey, I'll give you CMC. You give me Amon-Ra and Mahomes in a Superflex. But Myers, let me tell you something. If you pull this off, you are a magician, my man. You will be the sorcerer of the day, and you'll be going to the moon.
To the moon.
I'll have you in charge of every moon shuttle launch from here until December if you can pull this off. And be a genius. You'll be a genius, Gage. A genius, I tell you. Unbelievable. Ray, Damian Harris, or Mostert, please. You don't know what Damian Harris is doing. Mostert's the answer here, but long term, I don't know. Long term, we got to wait and see. But definitely say you can't rely on Harris right now, unless Mostert looks injured or something going into the game. Like whoever looks healthier. Pitts or Hawkinson this week. I think you go with Hawkinson until Pitts proves to get consistent volume. I like Pitts. He got a touchdown last week. We're excited about that, but the volume still wasn't there. So his ability to disappear again is very, very likely. Whereas Hawkinson, I think you got to roll with him for now. Trade Kittle and J-Rob for Breece Hall. If you want to really destroy relationships and win, yes. Kittle and J-Rob for Breece Hall? Is that really offered to you, Ray, or are you thinking this up? Because this is not realistic, bro. That's like saying, what do you think, Smitty? Smitty, would you rather have, if you were me, would you trade a $20 bill for $100? I'm just curious, because I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, what if I took my $20 bill, and I just folded it up in a unique way? Made one of those, birds with my $20 bill? I bet you I could get a $100 bill from Bill in accounting. I bet you he'd trade me straight up for that pretty folded, nice little $20 number. And just, maybe I'll make one of those birds with the wings and have him stand up on the desk and say, Bill, straight up, your $100 Benjamin for this bird, this $20 bird, Bill. You want to do it? Bill, bird, Bill, both bees. It's a match made in heaven, Bill. Take it. Accept it.
You've just been Smitty approved.
You pull that off, Ray, and you're also sorcerer of the day. You're going to share it with Myers. You and Myers are going to be 2 peas in a pod pulling off those kinds of deals. Absolutely insane. I don't know if you guys are just cooking this stuff up, though. I imagine you are, because those are crazy deals. Trade Kittle and J-Rob. God, can you imagine getting Breece Hall for that? Zach's new name is Lap. Okay. Slayer says your new name is Lap, Zach. Thank you, Zach, for your original super chat, your message there. I'm finally getting to it. Damian Harris or Ramondre, please, come on, man. I asked in a super chat. Ray, I already got to you, right? As you can see right here. We just talked about that. But B, I'm operating a show here. And Ray, while I appreciate your super chat, Ray to the moon. Every single one of you to the moon. Even people that don't super chat, to the moon. All of you. You guys make the show. To the moon. Without you, I wouldn't be here. Okay? But at the same time, Ray, you got to look around the room and see what I'm doing here. What I'm trying to operate. What I'm trying to navigate here. Operate a show. Got phone calls. Got discussions and debates going on. Super chats falling in like rainwater. Just trickling in. And I got to get to them, Ray. I'm doing the best I can. Like Mama would always scream. When Mama would always scream to me, I'm doing the best I can, little Smitty. And I pester her, Ray. Kind of like this right now. I'm doing the best I can, Ray. I'm doing the best I can, Ray. And I'm here for you, Ray. But you're going to have to deploy a little patience. I'm coming for you, Ray. I'm always coming for you, Ray. I might be late, Ray. But I'll be there. I'll be there, Ray. I've got you, Ray. It never fails, though. Somebody thinks I'm forgetting them on purpose, and I'm not. Smitty, you're ignoring my super chat. I'm trying my best, Ray. I picked up Deonta Foreman and Chuba Hubbard. Who has the better fantasy outlook? Probably Foreman, but honestly, bro, and Foreman's looked good in the past. But honestly, I don't want to start this player in this bad offense. I don't think it's going to lead to what everyone thinks it's going to lead to. $10 super from Red. To the moon. Red to the moon. Red, appreciate you, Red. And if you super chatted, just hang tight. I'm coming for you. 9-player league, Jackson, JT, running back, Walker, Diggs. So JT, Walker, Lamar, Diggs, Chase, Tyreek Hill. That's a great team. What is this? 9-player league. Okay, 9-player league. It makes sense. What's the question here? Sanders, Goddard. I mean, what do you do in a trade? I mean, JT Walker, I don't touch that. Lamar, I don't touch that. Chase Diggs, I don't touch that. Tyreek Hill. I mean, in a 9-player league, bro, there's not much trading people are going to do anyway. Because what are you going to do? Give up 2 studs for their 2 studs? It's like there's not much to do. Plus, your team's really good. You got Debo on the bench. This is what happens when you play in a 9-team league. But do you trade Debo and maybe I don't know. I don't know what you even do. There's nothing to do. Bro, your team's stacked from top to bottom. I'd let it roll. I'd let it roll. Maybe I try and trade Debo straight across for, an Adams or a Diggs or Adams or St. Brown because they've had their bye week. And do I throw in like Debo and Pittman for Adams? Like, can you do that? And as much as I like Pittman and Debo, I'd rather Adams without the bye week in that lineup. So, Red, that's the only thing I can come up with because your team's absolute fire, bro. I mean, everybody else has probably got fire teams too in a 9-team league, but I like your players, specifically your players. I'm 4-2, losing streak 2. What moves should I make? Hurts, CMC, Mostert, Lamb, Waddle, Mike Williams, Jamal, Pacheco. This is tough for you because CMC's most likely gonna not help you as much as you would have wanted this week. Hurts and CMC. I try and trade CMC for Hall. I try and trade CMC for try and get like a Walker and a St. Brown. If you can, that would be an amazing move for you. I do believe looking at your roster, you need something, bro. I don't think you can win it with that team. I'm just being honest, and that's what you're asking me for is my honesty and help. And I think that looking at your squad, you don't have the best team in the league. But you're close. You're like one move away. Hurts, CMC, and Mostert. Hurts, CMC, Lamb, and Waddle. Like they're all just, it's good, but it's like you're missing that like second round player, it feels like. Even though Lamb could be considered that, it still feels like your team's missing that big, second gun. So I feel like you can get that. Obviously, Zach proved tonight that the world may not be ready for the Breece Hall explosion. So maybe you try and get 2 players, Breece Hall and another player, a significant player. Maybe you get an A.J. Brown, bro. Maybe you get 2 running backs. Maybe you get Kenneth Walker and Breece Hall for CMC and Mostert or something like that. So, David, try and divide CMC into 2 players. Number 1, because he might not help you as much as you think this week. He could, but there's a good chance he doesn't. And so for that, I would try and trade him and get into a bye week free player. Like maybe you go get Pierce and an A.J. Brown or something like that. You could roll the dice on a Swift and get an additional player so that you're not out a player. So like if you got St. Brown and Swift as an example for CMC, you are worried about, okay, you might not have Swift this week, but you would have St. Brown going against CMC and you'd win out on that. So that would be a home run type of move. So those are all, I'm not saying I know that everybody's got those players together on one team, but you get the sense of what I would try and build package-wise for Christian McCaffrey, which you can totally get away with right now in a trade. Put me in timeout because I refuse to be silenced. This was that comment by OG. I appreciate OG, and I appreciate his super chats, man. It's so hot in here. I try and wear hats, but I sweat too much, and then I start like, oh my God, it's getting hot. I don't know why. I got to turn the fan on in here. Can't pull people out of timeout. Here's all those messages here, thinking that I put them in timeout. I didn't put them in timeout. Drake or Rachaad White on the bench. Give me Rashad. Give me Drake because I think Rachaad White, you still have time to trade for him, or to add him. Drake, I still try and trade Drake. I think you could trade Drake right now. Drake is a good trade piece, my guy. Pierce and Pittman or Diggs. I would say Derek Lincoln said Kamara and Herbert for Walker and DJ Moore. Kamara and Herbert for Walker and DJ Moore. Give me Walker and DJ Moore, I guess. But that's tough. I'd like you to get Walker and somebody else, Derek. That'd be a little bit smoother. Appreciate you, OG, for dropping the super chats, though. I do appreciate you in some capacity. Faith Life Sports, Drake. Oh, I got that one. Thank you. Appreciate you. This one's from He Who Collects. $4 hauler. $5 hauler. Says any upgrade suggestions? I got Rodgers, Pittman, JJ, St. Brown, Skywalker, Stevenson, Benjamin, Kittle, London. I probably say, the Stevenson value is still high and the Benjamin value is high. Like you might be able to trade both those guys for like a Dameon Pierce or something. I don't know. Try. Why not try? A boy can dream. JJ, St. Brown, Kenneth Walker, Pittman. I like the team a lot. The loophole for you is going to be trading Stevenson on the high or Benjamin on the high and trying to maybe you throw Kittle in and you go pick up or you got Freiermuth. Maybe you just roll with Freiermuth and you take the gamble. You trade the illusion that is Kittle with Stevenson to get a Pierce. Benjamin and Stevenson and Kittle for Pierce. I'd trade all 3 of them potentially for Pierce because he has no bye remaining and we don't know what the other 3 pieces are. I'd rather take the security and safety in that. Ron Navy with a $10 hauler. Ron Navy, appreciate you. Ron Navy says when CMC gets injured and out for the year, Zach will disappear. We won't see him in here. Barkley is better than CMC. He has too much faith in CMC. You can't use injury excuse. That is a cop-out, Zach. Ron Navy was upset. You can't get Ron Navy upset because when Ron Navy gets upset, he starts getting impatient. Ron Navy's going to come out swinging. Ron Navy's going to get on the phones, and he's going to start going crazy. He's going to hang up. He's going to call back, get calm, and sound very different on the way back around the second time. We've seen this with Ron before. When Ron's at Thanksgiving, he'll spill the milk, okay? He'll get upset and spill the milk. Don't get Ron Navy upset. Ron Navy, appreciate you. Smitty, when are we doing super chats? Right now. Appreciate you. Poker. Should I trade Aaron Jones, Ayuk for Jonathan Taylor? Yes, Rax. I would do that in a heartbeat, and I would smash it.
You've just been...
Got him.
Tell me that's an offer. Tell me that's an offer, and then tell me you're doing it. Thanks for having me. Keep grinding, says OG. See, Zach is at least a good sport, and he's also super chatted like 4 times on this show, despite getting timed out unfairly, which was crazy. And whatever mod did that, I'm not mad at you. I'm just trying to let you know that wasn't. I know some of my mods think they're looking out for me by doing that, but I don't want anybody timed out by having a respectful difference of opinion. The keyword's respectful difference of opinion. You can even be animated and amped up, but if you're respectful with it, then I'm good to go with it. Lost Javonte, Penny, and Mitchell. Was left with Pollard, B-Rob, and Eno. Was left with Pollard, B-Rob, and Eno. Pollard, that's your running backs? That can't be your running backs. Traded Eno and Evans for Breece and Judy. I like that. Still have J.J. Diggs, Pierce, and Dobbs. That's a rough running back room that you had, but now you got Breece Hall. Love it. J.J. Diggs. You're turning things around, Fernandez. That's some good moving there. But wow, that was a light running back room you were left with. Nice job. ETN is. Did you say you have ETN? Lost. Okay, so you have Pollard, B-Rob, Eno. I love B-Rob. I love B-Rob and Breece for you actually, but maybe ETN needs to be rostered as well somehow. You get ETN on the roster, and then you're really looking good. Don't give up any of those starters though, but like trying to figure out a crafty way to get him. I vote to put Zach on the eternal non-stop lap. So like a maybe we have a video that's like an hour long on YouTube. It's just like an hour long of it. We'll send him there. We'll send him on that lap. Thank you, Ron Navy, for your super chat. Work for what you want. $5 holler. I offered Cup, Connor, and Eno for Damian Pierce, A.J. Brown, and Hopkins. Cup, Connor, and Eno for A.J. Brown, Pierce, and Hopkins. A boy can dream. A boy can dream. Should I expect more for Cup? No. I think that's, would you send Cup for Pierce and A.J. Brown or Hopkins? I like the fact that you're getting all 3. I mean, you can't tell me I'm getting that and then try and dial it back. I'm too excited about the first offer. But I definitely give up Cup. I hate to say it, but I definitely give up Cup for Pierce, A.J. Brown, and Hopkins, I think. That's a lot of talent, bro. Yeah, unless you're winning and you're 6-0 and everything's fine, then why do with a single thing? AC dropping a super, but nothing attached to it. Let's see. AC did super chat along the way here. Appreciate you, AC. I've turned Mahomes, Waddle, and Devontae, Kirk, Hall, Mixon, Kelsey into Allen, Diggs, St. Brown, Pittman, JT, ETN, Andrews. Looks pretty good to me, bro. I don't love that you got rid of Hall. But let's see. Hall, Kelsey, Mahomes. So let's take Allen and Mahomes out. Let's take Hall and JT out. So ETN, Andrews, Diggs, St. Brown, Pittman. Yeah. You've done good. It's confusing to break down, but you've done good. And your team, I mean, St. Brown, Pittman, JT, ETN, Andrews, Diggs, Josh Allen. It's hard to imagine that team not being top 3 the rest of the way. And then if the games fall how they fall, I'm sure there's another team that has a competitive team very close to yours, but that's hard to imagine that team not winning or being in the total top 3 mix to win. That's a great job. Great team. Caspo, and again, I'm getting to all the super chats as fast as I can. Caspo says, trade Gabe and Devontae for Waddle. I guess I would, but at the same time, I'm loving trading Waddle for Gabe Davis and another player. Granted, I want to trade Waddle for Walker straight up and somehow convince somebody to give me Gabe Davis. So Waddle and Devontae for Gabe Davis and Walker. That's what I'm looking to do. So when I see just Gabe Davis versus Waddle, it's I like the idea I like the reverse of what you're doing. I like getting Gabe Davis for Waddle, but I want more. And if I'm not getting more, would I do the opposite, which is what you're doing? I suppose. I think Waddle's got a lot of trade value too, but I don't know. I think I probably take Waddle, but I don't feel good about it. I love Gabe Davis that much. Part of me wants to say I'd rather have Gabe Davis than Waddle, like quietly, but you need more. So I don't know. I don't know if I love that. I can't say I love the deal, even though Waddle's worth more. Like it's kind of like I would do it maybe to make another trade, but I think Gabe Davis is fire, bro. Trade CD Deontay for CMC Dobbs. Trade CD and Deontay for CMC and Dobbs. I'd take CMC and Dobbs. I like CD, but the trade value alone on McCaffrey's higher. So like even for that reason, I would do it. Went for it. Traded Stevenson for Gabe Davis and Pitts. I love that. This is what I'm talking about. I love Gabe Davis quietly as much as some of these guys like Stevenson's. You get a Pitts on top of it. It's a win-win. Low life. It's a win-win. It's a nice job. Travis, CMC, Claypool for Breece and Higgins. This is what I'm talking about. You take CMC, divide them up into two players. Zach, this one's for you, Zachy. Zachy boy. CMC. Oh, trading CMC, so scary. What if he does good? Don't care. Breece Hall. Breece's pieces and Higgins. This is a smash, Travis. Travis, what's that sound? What do I hear?
King 25, code 428. Dispatch Vito Popo. Popo has been dispatched. King 20.
Got him.
Smashing it, bro. David, would you trade away Cook for Andrews? Yeah, I don't even need to know the details, bro. I don't need to know the details. I'd smash it.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I totally hate when analysts will give advice without knowing the context, and especially when they're like, don't draft blah, 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 or always draft wide receivers before you, or always draft running backs before or never draft a quarterback early. Can't stand blanket advice like that. It's garbage. But at the same time, there's certain things you see like where, look, I just flip Andrews if I've got to. I don't even need to know the end result or what's going on. You say, you're giving me Andrews and I give you Cook. I say, let's shake hands, because then I could take it and flip it if I need to, if it doesn't fit my team right. Like, I don't even know what your tight end situation looks like, but Andrews is tradable. Cook is barely tradable, and you're getting Andrews for him. It's like, give me my $100 bill for my $80. I give you 80, you give me 100, and I'll worry about figuring that out. It's kind of like when someone says, would you rather have a Lamborghini you can't afford to insure and the gas and everything, or Jeep Unlimited? And you're like, well, I like the Jeep Unlimited better. I'll take that. When you could just take the Lamborghini, work it out, sell it, and then go buy your Jeep Unlimited and then have extra money. It's like, that's how it feels when someone says that. Like, hey, would you do Cook? I don't really need that. Take it. Take it and make another trade. If you're in a league where no one trades and you're going to 1,000% be stuck with Andrews, then it's a different story. It's still like I waver on it because I'm like, maybe I could get a trade done. They're saying there's no trading, but I feel like you can get a trade done. It's tactic. We need Zach. We need a Zach-it emoji. Zach has become potentially legend on here in one show, especially with that Sutton take at the end. It was like, that was definitely like the funniest part about it. 9-player league. Red, I got to this question already. Thank you, Red, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Walker, Diggs, Chase, Hill. Such a good team. Again, my advice was, I believe I remember correctly, Debo and Pittman for Adams. Or St. Brown, because that bye week is out of the way. Again, AC 221,000. Appreciate your super chat, my guy. Really appreciate you. Mendez, Walker over CMC. Look, here's the thing where Zach can't fathom this. This is going to blow Zach's mind. I, too, like Walker more than CMC in the context that I'm getting more because the fair market value commands that Walker's nowhere near CMC in terms of value. So I 100% agree with this statement, and I'm going and getting more because I can. I'm going and getting more because it's easy to get more. It's easy to sleepwalk into a trade that is Walker and A.J. Brown, Walker, and very valuable player for CMC. That is a smash. But, Lewis, you must make sure you take advantage. You cannot do this straight up because fair market value is laughing in your face if you do it straight up. It's not that I disagree with it. It's that you can't go buy a $400,000 house for $550 just because you think it's going to be worth $600 someday. That's dumb business. You know what I'm saying? Smitty said Peter. Peter, pumpkin eater, trade negotiator. Appreciate you, Ron. I'm 5-1. QB is Josh Allen. Wide receivers JJ, Gabe Davis, running back Hall, Pierce, Goddard, Flex Stevenson. I like it. Team's very good. Not a lot of trade components here or trade away components here. It's Hall and Pierce. Love it. Goddard, it's good. Stevenson, maybe Stevenson and Monty for a little bit safer flex play. You know, Stevenson and Monty for a Pittman. Stevenson and Monty for an Aaron Jones. Past that, I'm not trading Gabe. I'm not trading JJ. I'm not trading Hall. I'm not trading Josh Allen. You're 5-1 for a reason. Standing pat is better than making a bad move, but that move, Stevenson and Monty or something. Even though you have Herbert and Monty, I still trade Stevenson and Monty for a potential better player. If I've got to throw in Herbie, I will too. But you don't have to make a trade. It's got to be a good trade. It's got to be Aaron Jones, something significant. But Aaron Jones is a great go-get right now. I think it would be a pretty solid move for you, to be quite frank. Justin with the super chat. Justin, productive struggle. I have 5 first-round picks. Yes or no? Higgins for an early 2023 first and second and 2024 1. Higgins? Yeah, I'd trade Higgins for a 2023 first and second and a 2024 1. Absolutely. Especially if that's an early 2023 first. Imagine if you got Bijan Robinson, bro. And not to mention you could take that. Like, here's what I would do. You want to know what I would do, Justin? I would be preemptive. I would go look at all the teams. As long as you don't have a lottery, you can kind of see who's going to probably be the 1.1. And I bet you could go to that owner and offer him the 23 first and the 2024 first rounder for their 2023 first rounder that if you believe very, very strongly it's going to be the 1.1 because it's worth it. If you can for sure lock yourself into a strong percentage chance that you're going to get that 1.1, use that 2024. And then you're trading Higgins for Bijan Robinson, bro, at the end of the day. But make sure it's you're doing your homework and you know who's going to be the 1.1. You can kind of tell. If someone's got 2 wins and everyone else has got 3, and he's got the worst team, he's on his way to the 1.1. You know, starting Swift this week depends, Hero. We don't know. We have no details. We'll know more tomorrow. We may not even know until game time. It sounds like when Dad says we're getting ice cream later, maybe. And then you're like, oh, yeah, we're going to. And then he doesn't take you. So that's how I feel that's probably going. He might play, maybe, and then he's not going to play. That's how it felt. That's how I felt with JT last week, and that's what happened. That's how I felt with Swift in previous, or St. Brown in the week before he played. Ramondre and Lockett for Breece Hall. Lucius, you've known me how long now? Lucius, how have I offended you? You're going to assume that I'm not going to tell you to smash this trade. I think you just want to flex, and that's okay, too. There's nothing wrong with that. Big Lucius, if this deal is out there and you can get Breece Hall for your Ramondre and Lockett, you got him, bro. You got him good.
Got him.
I mean, that's light work, bro. Kirk has underperformed the last 3 weeks. Hall better. I think you're talking about that trade where Hall was involved, yeah. Should try Evans and Walker for Sun God. Yeah, you could try that. I mean, even I would trade St. Brown for Walker and Evans, bro, for sure. I would even give up a tad more if you've got to, but, don't give up starters or anything. But you make it a 2 for 2, it might make it look a little lesser. But make sure you're not throwing anybody significant. But Walker and Evans, I take. Look, Walker could be equal to St. Brown. St. Brown could be equal to Walker. So you get Evans involved in that, and it's a home run, bro. Absolute smash. Marco, do you see any value in Gus Edwards? No. coming off ACL, in a running back by committee. Maybe to pick up and trade. But, could he start? Could Drake get hurt and then he start games? Sure. But that's a running back by committee. It's not a good situation anyway. Even if one running back's in there. But it's a committee. And then also, the quarterback's not even a part of the committee. The quarterback's the running back one outside of the committee. So, it's a bad situation. PPR, flex, Herbert, double flex. Herbert's your quarterback. JT, Hall, Stevenson, Evans, Keenan Allen, Taysom Hill, Olave. Olave's fantastic. Bench is Judy, Jamison Williams, Hollywood Brown, and Patterson on IR. League mate is willing to trade me Walker. Who should I offer him? Stevenson and Keenan Allen for Walker. Smash. If you have to, Evans for Walker straight up, I suppose I would contemplate. But at the same time, you can't really do that because you're wide receiver. So never mind, scratch that. I mean, Olave straight up for Walker. Olave's so good, bro, that you don't want to throw him into a combination deal. Like for me, it's Stevenson and Judy, Stevenson and Keenan Allen. Stevenson, Keenan Allen, and Judy all for Walker I would do, but I don't think I'd do Olave and Stevenson. I definitely wouldn't do Evans with something, and I prefer not to even give Evans because you shouldn't be trading your wide receivers at this point. But yeah, getting Walker would be a phenomenal move for you. If you could do it for Stevenson and Keenan Allen, with Keenan Allen coming back, that would be a home run smash, run from the Vito Popo type of situation. Trade. Should I trade away Swift and Jamal and Alec Pierce for CMC? I probably would. And that's a scenario where CMC's got more value because you don't know what you're dealing with Swift right now. Although you got Jamal, and so that's not bad, but I still think I'd take CMC over that. I've turned Mahomes, Waddle, Devontae, Kirk, Mixon, Kelsey into, okay, I got that one, yeah. Appreciate you on that super chat, my guy. TP31 on a $5 hauler. 14-team PPR need advice. Breece, Josh Allen, Saquon, CMC, Adam St. Brown. This is a 14-teamer. Tyreek, Kelsey, what are you talking about? And Smitty as my kicker. Need help. What do you need help with? What do you need help with? You need help with me patting you on the back? Like, what's going on here? You're in a 14-team PPR. I call cap, TP. I call cap. Breece Hall, Josh Allen, Saquon, Adam. What do you need help with? You don't need help with nothing, bro. Nice flex. And when I say flex, I mean nice coming in and saying, look at my team. To the moon. You don't need help with nothing. That team's absolute fire. Help. How to spend your money? Is that what you're asking help for? Excellence says 10-team PPR, rate my squad. Burrow, Lawrence, Hall, Swift, Fournette, JJ, Higgins, Pittman, Kirk, Deontay, Odell, plus handcuffs. Very good team. And a 10-teamer, granted you're going to have a little bit better team. It's a really good team. You got the handcuffs. You got Hall, Swift. I maybe look to shop Fournette. Would you maybe go after a Walker, or Pierce has already had his bye. Fournette and Higgins for a Jamar Chase, or no, maybe even swing higher. Fournette, Higgins for shoot for Cup, bro. Higgins and Fournette could maybe get Cup, maybe not. Maybe the person's smart and doesn't want to trade Cup, but maybe the person's also hurting, and you could go ahead and get that done. Hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. Appreciate everybody in here. Punch it. Punch that thumb up button. Subscribe if you're new. We hit 16K. I think we might have hit it right walking into this show, but we just hit 16K. I put it up right behind me because we walked in. I forgot to announce it, but we walked in right when we walked in the show. It was rolling right at 16K, but we're at 16. We're almost at 16K and 15 people. So congrats to everybody in here. 16K. We're doing it. We're doing it live. Where are we at? Okay. Kyler Murray, Eckler, JT, Amon-Ra, Rondell, Gallup, Andrews, Tucker, 12-man PPR, currently 6-0 thoughts. Amon-Ra plus Pierce for Breece. Alec Pierce? Oh, yeah. I was thinking that was Damian Pierce. So Amon-Ra plus Alec Pierce, the receiver, for Breece. I'd take Breece in a heartbeat. And I love Amon-Ra, but I'd take Breece in a heartbeat. Absolute smash. Good job. Nice trade. Francis, and I got a $20 hauler from Deadman. So let's throw Deadman's chat up. $20 haulers get handled right away.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Deadman forgot to mention in my super chat earlier before that I already have St. Brown and Pierce. My running backs are Cook, Pierce, ETN, wide receiver St. Brown, Diggs, Higgins. I'd like to move Cook for an upgrade, but is it worth it? Let's see Deadman's question. Original question. So Deadman's original question was good lateral trade for Cook. Okay. So now we got to come up with, you already have Pierce, and so your wide receivers are St. Brown, Diggs, and Higgins. So Adams, like I said, Adams would be fantastic. Already had his bye week, and if you need to throw in somebody, you could do so. I don't know who else you could throw in, but I would look to maybe do Cook, Dalvin Cook for Adams, and you just have to throw in maybe a Drake or maybe a wide receiver like, I don't know. There's got to be somebody you could throw in that might look appealing, that's playing well, or maybe you have two tight ends. You got Everett and you've got Hawkinson or something. You could throw in one of your tight ends. Maybe the guy struggling at quarterback, you could throw in a backup quarterback that would be a starter. Things like that. But Cook should maybe, you should be able to have a conversation, Cook and Adams. And if you can't, running back, you already have Pierce. Walker, I would trade Cook for Walker straight up. I'd try and get more, but I wouldn't even fret. If he was like, no, I'm not doing more, I'll do it straight up. I'd do it. I'd take Walker over Cook in a heartbeat. So that would be the lateral trade that I would do. Walker would be good. Walker's attainable too for Cook, I think, still in a lot of people's minds. So I don't think that's a crazy thing. Michael K, CPA in the building, by the way. Let's see if Michael K, CPA has a question. No, he doesn't, but I would certainly answer if I could. Super chats. Let's go back to that. This one right here is from Francis. 10-team Superflex, wide receiver Diggs, Lamb, Higgins, Godwin, Dobbs. Oh, hold on. We got a delivery. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Kareem Hunt, goodbye. Oh, let me finish this question right here. 12-team Superflex PPR, Diggs, Lamb, Higgins, Godwin, Dobbs, running backs JT, Barkley, Swift, ETN, Dylan. What should I do? With this team, I'd say 10-team Superflex, Diggs, Lamb, Higgins, Godwin, Dobbs. I'm probably trading. I'm probably trading Godwin or Higgins with maybe. What about, you already got JT? This is hard. You could trade Swift and Godwin for Adams and something. Swift and Godwin for Adams. Adams has had the bye, same as Swift. That's a tough one. Because You've got good enough players. You got good enough running backs where it's hard to upgrade them. Would I trade Swift into something a little bit safer? What about Breece Hall using Swift and Godwin? You get Breece Hall and you get something else potentially, maybe something small. That's kind of where my mind goes on that one. Adams and Breece are my targets if I'm you and I'm using Swift. Trade London, Geno, and Foreman to get Hurts and ETN. London, Geno, and Foreman to get Hurts and ETN. First of all, I don't think you could get I would trade London, Geno, and Foreman for ETN. You know, trading London, Geno, and Foreman for Hurts would probably get vetoed if you got vetoes in your league. But if you could get both of those, Izzy, you're on the text line, aren't you? I just added you on the text line. I appreciate you. You would be the sorcerer of the day if you could pull this off. If you got Hurts alone, you'd be the sorcerer of the day if you pulled that off. So that's fantastic. Smitty, don't think you understood my super chat earlier. I have T. Higgins, Devontae Adams, Waddle, A.J. Brown, and Dobbs. Running back, I have Damian Harris, Jeff Wilson, J.T. Kenyon Drake. What trades to improve? Okay, I'm sorry if I misunderstood your super chat. Let's see if I can cook something up here. I would say, let's see here. Damian Harris, Jeff Wilson, J.T. Drake. I don't touch J.T. Drake and maybe Higgins, or Drake and maybe Waddle for a slight upgrade. So, could Waddle get you St. Brown? Maybe. So, I would trade Harris and or Drake with Waddle for St. Brown. I would do any of those deals. I would do Higgins and potentially Waddle together for a Jamar Chase or something like that. Would I try and get trade a Drake and let's see. Yeah. Drake and T. Higgins, Drake and Waddle for one slightly better wide receiver or for one running back. I'd even trade Higgins and Drake for Walker in a second, for Damian Pierce in a second. So those would be, and I'd throw in Damian Harris for free if I had to. Thank you for the super chat. Sorry if I misunderstood it. I don't even remember what I said on the first one. No tight end, 1 and 5. Geno, Debo, Godwin, McCaffrey, Hall, Swift, Cooks, Kittle, ETN, Monty, Curtis Samuel, Garrett Wilson, Foreman. People are hard to trade with. I would say, bro. Hall, Swift, McCaffrey, you have a fire team. ETN. Wide receivers. Obviously, you maybe trade Debo, because I'm a little worried about Debo. Trade Debo or Godwin. Upgrade one of those two wide receivers. So if you say Debo, try and trade Monty, Debo for, Diggs or Adams. Try and trade Monty and Debo, Monty and Godwin for potential, I don't know, AJ Brown or higher, type of wide receiver. But Debo worries me enough to where if I can get Adams with no bye week left, he's at his bye already. You throw in Brandon Cooks, you throw in Kittle and Debo for Adams, who's had a bye. You already have Breece Hall, you already have Swift. You got the running backs on lock. I love those running backs. I would maybe trade McCaffrey for JT and something. Apparently JT's cheaper than McCaffrey right now, and I'd take advantage of that. I'd give up McCaffrey and Godwin for someone's JT and better wide receiver than Godwin. Give me a St. Brown upgrade from Debo. Even if it's something like that, you deceptively go in with the assumption that they believe that JT's lower than McCaffrey, and that earns you a Debo upgrade into Adams, who's had a bye week already, or a player of that nature, Diggs, or maybe even St. Brown. I would take JT and St. Brown over Debo and McCaffrey, things like that. That would be a smash right there. Appreciate you, Nightcrawler, for that super chat. Trade Pickens for ETN. I'd take ETN in a heartbeat, bro. ETN in a heartbeat. Kareem Hunt, a good buy low. Yeah, to a degree, but not something that I'm 100% targeting or excited about. But yeah, Kareem Hunt's an okay buy low, sure. Especially look, Chubb could get, if Chubb got banged up, and it's not crazy to think he's had knee issues in the past. Hunt would be a really good running back too. Debo or CD Chubb, or Breece. I'm gonna go CD moving forward with the McCaffrey, consuming a lot of the production there now, and going Breece over Chubb. Breece is in my top 5 overall. Maybe my running back 1 go forward. He's definitely my running back 1 in Dynasty, but I don't think anybody's crazy to have Breece Hall as the running back 1 overall. These things happen. JT wasn't supposed to be the running back 1 to people, and I know he's had a disappointing year, but last year people were like, I don't know about JT. I don't know about JT's the 1.1 by the end of the year. So, Breece Hall's on that track. Okay, I'm back with an offer. He wants Lamb and is giving Hall. Remember, I would then have CMC, Hall, ETN, but my wide receivers would only be Waddle and Mike Williams. So if he's giving you Breece Hall for Lamb, I just said that Hall's my 1.1 essentially. Motion detected. Absolute smash. All day long, my guy. Take Breece Hall. And hold on one more second. All right, sorry, we had like 10 different packages coming in. I didn't want to leave them outside. CMC for Breece and Keenan Allen, or ask for more. CMC for Breece. Nice job, David, by the way, on that trade if you get Breece Hall for Lamb. CMC for Breece and Keenan Allen, or ask for more. CMC for Breece and Keenan Allen. I would try and get a different wide receiver, but I like where your mind's at with that. I definitely think that could work out pretty well for you. Aaron, I don't like Keenan Allen much, so I would go after a different player. CMC for Breece and I just did that one. Hero says Swift, Chuba, Pollard, or Foreman. Wait, what? Swift, Chuba, Pollard, or Foreman? You're talking about this week if Swift doesn't play. Obviously, if Swift plays, you start Swift. If not, I'm probably going Pollard until we know what's what in Carolina, and I'm not risking it yet in one game saying, I'm just going to throw Foreman out there. We don't know what that divide's going to look like. ETN and B-Rob for Jones. I have Dylan. I'm going to say no. I like Aaron Jones, but on a buy low level. This right here, I love ETN. I'm not selling ETN. I'm buying ETN. I buy ETN. I don't send him packing pain, and you should feel the same way. But I do like the idea of getting Aaron Jones, bro. But that one, no. That one's a no, sir. TP says, haha, I lie. I don't know what that's in reference to, but I appreciate your super chat, TP. You are going to the moon, young man. To the moon. You aren't careful, TP. You're going to the moon. You better be more careful. I'm going to send you to the moon for being awesome. All right, Lee says, should I trade Najee, Jamar, and Waddle for Stevenson, Swift, Jamal Williams, Judy, and Bateman? Absolutely not. No. No. Najee, Jamar, and Waddle for Stevenson, Swift, Jamal. No. I would try and trade Najee and something for Swift and Jamal, though. But I'm not trading Jamar and Waddle and no. I mean, I'm worried about, and thank you for the $10 hauler, Lee. To the moon. Lee, appreciate you, Lee. But you need to get more. You need to just trade Najee and something for Swift. Like, would I trade Najee and Waddle for Swift, Jamal, and something like ETN or something? Like, yeah, but no, I'm not doing that. Not doing that deal. But I like the idea of getting rid of Najee. I do. Deadman, again, appreciate your $20 hauler. This one is from Rain. Rain says 2 flexes: Lazard, Drake, Everett, Lockett. Give me Drake and Lockett, I suppose, assuming Lockett's healthy and everything's good to go. But that's a tough call. I mean, you could maybe bring that to me tomorrow night too, and we might feel differently about the situations because those situations some of them are evolving. Should I trade Evans and Cooper for Swift and Brown? I assume that's St. Brown, Evans and Amari Cooper, or is that Cooper Kupp? I'll answer both ways. If it's Evans and Cooper Kupp, the answer is you don't trade Evans and Cooper Kupp. If it's Amari Cooper and Evans, and it's Swift and St. Brown, I take a Swift St. Brown and I'm running. If it's Hollywood Brown and Swift versus Evans and Amari Cooper, trying to give you every option, I'd go in with Swift and so if it's Amari Cooper and Evans versus Swift and Hollywood Brown, I'm probably going Evans side and for now because Swift's injured and if you don't have Jamal, you're not giving me the option of Jamal. If you've got Jamal, I'd take the Swift side. So there's all those options. I don't know which one's which, bro. Congrats on the 16K. Appreciate you to the moon, young man, for all your help and support, Shoddy. You've been a big part of it, Shoddy, so I appreciate you. Just got the trade for Adams straight up. Debo for Adams straight up.
You've just been Smitty.
Got him.
It's fantastic, bro. Adams straight up. Debo's gonna take a little bit of a hit, and Adams is at his bye week. There's no shame in even if Debo does just as good. And let me tell you something. Debo might have a good game this week because we don't know how much CMC is going to be involved. But so don't get too upset if you see Debo do well because that's going to be probably his last hurrah until he starts getting some work taken away from him. First time here, lost Dobbins, Mitchell, Wilson due to CMC trade. So please rate my running backs. First of all, welcome, Alex. Appreciate your super chat. $10 hauler on the way in the door. You gotta love that about Alex. Alex bringing the fire right away. And Alex says, running backs, rest of season, PPR, Samaje P. Ryan, Rashad White, James Cook. These are tough. Foreman, Hubbard, Gus the Bus. Thank you. Wow. First time here, lost Dobbins. Okay. Please rate my running backs rest of season. I'm gonna rank them in order of. Oh God, I don't know. These are tough. These are tough. I guess I would say Foreman, and then I don't know. Foreman, and then hopefully Rashad White. This is not good. We got to figure out a way to get you out of this, Alex. I need a lot more information than this later on. Also, you can get my text line where I can walk you through more detailed stuff. Go to thefantasyfootballshow.com. That's my content site, my guy. And you can order, any package that's got the one-on-one text device. And, we can work together to try and revamp this team or even, more so prepare you next year to dominate coming out of your draft, bro. So you have Breece Hall. You're going to have the Moon Men. Can we show the Moon Men? The Moon Men list, baby, looks so good right now.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Look at this list.
Space Monsters.
Space Monsters, indeed. We've had some misses, but I mean, Lance got hurt. Schultz got hurt. Javonte got hurt. No one's busted. These guys haven't busted. Lance didn't bust. Schultz, busting is getting hurt to a degree, but it's mean like the performance didn't let us down. It's like, look at this. Look at this group right here. This is a phenomenal looking group right here. Pierce, Hall, Hurts, A.J. Brown, Walker, Pollard and White in waiting. Khalil Herbert's down there with a question mark, but don't give up on him. ETN, St. Brown, Lamb, these guys are all popping off. These are all blowing up. These Moon Men are absolutely fantastic. And
the tripod, also likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, are constructed using Burrow or Hurts, Chase or a JB, Hall or Walker.
I mean, this is looking good too. These are, Javonte was on the original tripod, but we updated this to evolve with the times. And these guys we've been believing in all year. It's not like we threw that together and said, "Hell, we're gonna do a new." These guys have been a part of the show the entire time. The buy lows, get them now. So, Alex, my whole point is, you get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. I can help you do my best to revamp your team, and then also, we'll work on everything else for next year and have you dominating, walking and being like, you're gonna walk in with a mink coat, bro, looking like a pimp with a pimp cane, walking in, bro, into your draft. People are gonna go, what happened to Alex? What happened to Alex? You'd be like, Alex got thefantasyfootballshow.com. That's gonna be a commercial for me where it's like, petrified Peter. He's got his glasses on. He's typing up on his laptop his TPS reports. And then the next season, he walks in with the cane and a mink coat looks like a whole different man because he got thefantasyfootballshow.com. That's going to be the new ad I'm going to cook up. And Alex, it's there for you. It's there for the taking. You just need to take a step forward and get it, bro. Thefantasyfootballshow.com. Am I crazy? Bijan first, Gibbs second? No, bro. You're not crazy. Bijan's definitely the 1.1. Gibbs is very, very good. We'll see where these guys shake out as the college season rolls along. No one does rookie content like your boy Smitty. Nobody. And so get ready for it. While everybody's out boozing up on New Year's Eve, and I'm not trying to be down on anybody that does that. I'm here working. I'm sitting here when that ball drops. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Miss Smitty passes out already. I've got sodas all over, empty soda cans all over, and I'm sitting here like this with my finger. And as soon as that ball drops and I look at the clock and it goes to 12 o'clock my time, Arizona time, I press the button. It all shifts over to 2023 content on thefantasyfootballshow.com. All the rookie write-ups, all the 2023 rookie write-ups will be on screen right here. On this thefantasyfootballshow.com. That's how I roll. That's how I celebrate when the ball drops, baby. That's it. I work 365 24/7. I work on New Year's. I work on Christmas. She hates that I work on Christmas. I work on every day. I don't stop. This is me. You don't separate me. Just like you can't separate team from player, situation from player, you can't separate me from fantasy and from NFL news and notes and videos. Okay? Got Hall and Chase in every league thanks to Smitty. Thank you, hero. And I'm so glad you've got Hall and Chase. And I hope you got Walker in a couple of those leagues. And I hope you got ETN in a couple of those leagues too, my guy. Because ETN's about to do what Walker and Pearson and Hall have been doing. I truly believe. Trade market value for Chubb, top 5. Top 5. You can trade him for top 5. You can go down a level and get like a St. Brown and a Walker. You know, target St. Brown or target Walker and then see what those teams have to make a 2-for-1. Use them as the anchors, as I say, an anchor of the trade. We got Grim dropping some super chats. Grim, let's see if Grim's got a question. Grim said, this is the community with the news and discussions and not an answering service, says Dan. I don't know what you're referring to. If someone maybe said something, I appreciate your support. Wow. Well, that's what we get on Fridays. I'm trying to see if Dan's just dropping super chats to be Dan, just to be amazing, or if he has a question. And I don't know if he does. Dan, if you have a question, please let me know. Put some question mark emojis and I'll try and find you. But Dan, thank you. I think Dan's just being Dan. I think Dan's just being Ben. He's being amazing. Okay. Thank you, my good sir. And buddy pal. Brock Culpepper. Should I trade JJ and Aaron Jones for Hall and CD? JJ and Aaron Jones for Hall and CD. That's pretty even. I'm not going to lie. That's pretty even. JJ's that good. JJ's that much better than CD, even though I love CD. And Hall is better than Aaron Jones. But Aaron Jones has got a shot at bouncing back. This really will depend on Aaron Jones. I probably take Hall and CD. I don't know. I think it's even. Can I get the chat to vote on this one, please? JJ and Aaron Jones or Breece Hall and CD go forward. It's pretty arguable. I would say I lean Hall because I love Hall and CD's phenomenal enough. But Aaron Jones is the difference maker here. He's either going to crap the bed and you're going to lose the trade, or he's going to bounce back and be amazing and make this trade flip in the direction of JJ. But it's tough, man. You could argue either side. Anybody that tells you it's like a no-brainer, I think is just, they're a little bit biased toward Hall. Like somebody like me loves Hall so much. They're like, go Hall anytime you get Hall. But yeah, flip a coin, JJ, keep JJ. Hall and CD, it's pretty, JJ side, CD side, it's pretty close, my guy. Keeping JJ, says Joe. See, very, very close. This is one of the closer calls. I would say, depending on what you need, like if you need a splash, you might want to bank on Aaron Jones bouncing back and keep the JJ side. Evans and Cooper for DeAndre Swift and AJ Brown. Give me DeAndre Swift and AJ Brown in a millisecond. Albert with a $5 hauler. No question this week. I should be set. Just wanted to say congrats on the 16K We hit 16K, by the way. Thank you, Albert. Thanks for all your help so far, Smitty. Thank you, Albert. Appreciate you. Appreciate all your support. Style, $5 hauler. Burrow, Herbert, wide receiver Chase, A.J. Brown, Sun God, D-Hop, Kirk, Henry, Walker, ETN, Sanders. Any advice? Burrow, Herbert. So this is Superflex, right? It's got to be Superflex. Wide receivers are Chase, A.J. Brown, Sun God, D-Hop, Kirk. Running backs, Henry, Walker, ETN. There's not much to do here, bro. Sanders and Kirk for one better player. Sanders and Kirk for Dameon Pierce. Sanders and Kirk for... We got Sun God already. Sanders and Kirk for Adams or Hall. Sanders and Kirk for Hall. Sanders and Hopkins for Breece Hall. Maybe come to mind as potential. You know what? Does the delivery man keep coming to the door, or is that the Vito Popo? Might be both, Vamp. But I had Miss Smitty getting a delivery, an item delivery, and she was like, "Don't leave that out there." So I had to run out there. Then the baby was getting delivered as well by the grandparents. So there was 3 different deliveries at one time. Thanks, Smitty. I would not have Walker, Etienne, or Pierce if not for you. New to the channel, but you have made me a believer. Thomas.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
Appreciate you, Thomas. Glad to have you here. Thomas, the man, the myth, the legend. Thomas, thank you. Hero, Pollard or Damian Harris this week. Probably Pollard. We don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying, bro? So I'm going to go ahead and hold off on Damian Harris right now. But ask me tomorrow night. On my chat earlier, Swift plus Godwin for Ken Walker, Amon-Ra. Ken Walker and Amon-Ra. And I take off, bro. I take off because I don't know if that's Vito Popo. Yeah, that's maybe not Vito Popo. But Ken Walker over Swift, especially being banged up. Amon-Ra over Godwin. That's definitely a got him trade.
Got him.
Definitely a got him. This one's from Nicholas. Nicholas says, Allen, Tua, Monty, Saquon, Jamal, Drake, Amari, Diggs, Deontay, Pierce, 4 and 2. Just trade advice. I would say, in general, I mean, Saquon and you need a running back too potentially. ETN would be a great buy for you. Trade Drake for ETN, Amari for ETN, maybe Drake and Amari for ETN. That would be a cheap solution for you. Deontay and potentially Monty and go after. I'd trade Deontay for ETN. I'd get ETN might be your savior. You know, and you could use all those lower tier guys to get him. I would not trade Saquon. I would not trade Diggs. Aaron Jones would be a fantastic go get. I would go get if you could start all 3. You could start Saquon and then 2 running backs. I would use Drake, Amari, Deontay, Alec Pierce, and Monty to get Aaron Jones and ETN, and I think you could find a way to do that using those guys. I really do. Different combinations might get you that. Rank my team and trade. You can be honest. Justin Herbert, Kamara, Breece Hall, Pittman, Olave, Taysom, Tua, Gabe Davis, Deontay, and Cup. Oh man, I love how Cup's at the end. I'm like, yeah, Cup. Okay, great. Kamara, Pierce, Herbert, Cup, Olave, Pittman. It's great team. I traded CMC and Metcalf for Cup and Pittman. Yeah, I like that. All in all, I like that because I'd rather have Cup over CMC by a lot. And I know a lot of people are going to say, what, by a lot? Yeah, by a lot. Because you don't know for sure what this is going to look like in San Fran. You can pretend to know. You can be excited about it. I'm excited about it in some ways. But Cup's a smash over CMC. He just is. And the honest truth is Pittman could be better than DK. So it took me a second to digest it. But what am I doing? It's a smash. And your team's great, so you did a great job. It's a very crafty, undervalued, kind of under the radar type of team, and I like it, bro. I like it a lot. You did really, really good. Appreciate you. Jake, appreciate you with your question. Jake said, did I get Jake's? Jake said, with trade CMC, Pierce, Walker, or Chubb this week. With the trade of CMC, Pierce, Walker, or Chubb this week. I don't know if I'm ranking these. I don't know if you're asking me to rank them. I would say Chubb is, number 1. Pierce number 2 for volume, or Walker if you want upside, but a little bit more risk. And then I'd put CMC 4th. But Jake, I don't know if that's what you're asking. The wording's on that's a little weird, but hopefully I helped you. Smutty, D-Hop top 10 potential or sell high, says Logan. D-Hop is a potential top 10, but I do focus on maybe trying to trade him, and getting a Devontae Adams somehow because people are going to overpay. I definitely am okay with that. Nicholas, appreciate you. Did I give trade advice on this one already? I think I did. Yeah, the Saquon one. Yeah. Appreciate you, my guy. $4.99 from Rick. Rick, thank you for your super chat. Good buddy, good pal. I don't see anything attached to it. Let me go ahead and see if I can find a question from you. JJ and AJ, I don't know what that is. I don't see your question, but I appreciate your super chat. And I appreciate everybody's super chat and everybody's support. I can't thank you enough. We wouldn't have got to 16K if it wasn't for you. I work for you. I work for you. And on that note, may I ask if I can go? May I be dismissed? We've been here for 2 hours and a half. And doesn't mean I won't be back later. Because you know what? It's Friday night. You know what we do on Friday night? We go live at midnight Eastern, roughly. So I will be back. No $10 hauler. Let's see here. Ferreras. Oh, I'm sorry, Ferreras. Oh, you gotta tell me I missed it. That's all. Rank my team and trade. You can be honest. No, I did do that. Oh, $10 hauler.
To the moon.
That's what you meant. My bad, Ferreras. Hey, let's give you a standing O on top of that.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. Sorry, Ferreras. I dropped the ball on that one. You're right. Anytime I don't do a $10 hauler for anybody dropping fire, please let me know. We've got a couple more super chats coming in. Rick, I don't see a question from Rick yet. I'll look for 1 second. Hero says trading Swift or crossing the bridge together. Trading Swift or crossing the bridge together. I don't know what that means, but I like Swift. I'm with you. I just, it depends. You are dismissed, says Kilpatrick. Thank you, sir. I work for you guys. Kilpatrick said I could go. Trade Mixon and Hall for CMC. No, I'd rather have Hall and CMC, bro. And if you watched the earlier part of the show, you'll know why. You'll know why. You'll know that I actually love this man, Breece Hall, as seen on screen, more than Christian McCaffrey, and you're giving me more, which is absolutely fantastic. And right here, 16K, a $20 hauler from Vamp. Vamp's one of my boss. All of you are my boss. All of you are my boss. Collectively, you are my boss. I work for you. Thank you, Vamp. 16K going strong. We're on our way to 20. I want to be at 20K by December. Okay? So I need your help to spread the word. I know it's not easy, but you guys can get creative. You're crafty individuals out there. You crafty mofos could go into a sports bar, then just see a bunch of dudes in jerseys or does not have to be dudes or girls in jerseys and be like, hey, you ever heard of the Fantasy Football Show? Now you know. And just walk out. Now you know. The Fantasy Football Show. Later. Just tell people you're in an elevator. Dude's in a jersey. Hey, you ever seen the Fantasy Football Show? Don't forget the. Go check it out on YouTube. There's so many ways you could spread the word. But you guys helping the channel grow is amazing. And it's amazing to be a part of it. And on top of that, let's see here. Nice job. What's this? It's Ada saying? Thank you for the super chat, Vamp. Appreciate you. This one's from Bryson. Bryson said, would you trade AJ Brown for Dameon Pierce? I would take Dameon Pierce, but it's arguable, but I'd take Dameon Pierce. He's had the bye week. He's good to go, bro. Maybe Pickens with him is the best he will do. I would take that. I would take Pierce. I would take Pierce, my guy. I like them both, though. I could go either way. I could definitely go either way. I'm behind listening to the Zach call from an hour ago. He's still yelling, stop now. I'll pay for them. Trying to catch up on the chat. Guys, I'll try and do a better job here talking to all of you in the chat too, but when we're hit with super chats, I got to go through them. But there's times where we have a moment where I can, and I'll try and do better. I also answer every question I can. I've been a little bit behind, but I promise to get on track as best I can. So when the show's over, we got 315 people in here. Keep hitting the thumb up, by the way, and subscribe if you're new. But ask me a question in the comment of the video once the video ends, and I'll try and answer 80 to 90% of the questions that get asked. And I'll try and answer 100% of the questions that get asked in the first 24 hours. I have Sutton, Kirk, and Ayuk to trade. I need a running back 1 or a solid running back 2. Sutton and Kirk for Pierce. Sutton and Kirk for Walker. Give me Sutton for ETN straight up and keep Kirk. And then trade Kirk for something else. Sutton and Kirk for Aaron Jones. Those are my ideas. And I think those are smashes, my guy. Absolute smashes. Go do them. Get it done. Bryson, appreciate you. Trade Lazard and Mixon for Najee and Amari Cooper. I'd rather have, I believe, Mixon at this point, but I don't love Mixon or Najee right now, to be honest with you. Ron Navy, appreciate all your support. Ron Navy is the top super chatter of the year, and he's been here for not even it's been like 3 or 4 months. It feels like he's been here for decades. Trade Lamb and Gabe Davis for JJ and ETN. Give me JJ and ETN. I love ETN. Love ETN. ETN to the moon. Look at Zach. Zach coming back strong. I want to call back in and get some advice on my team on how to move forward. Zach, hurry up. Hurry up, Zach. You got the number. Dial back in. Zach's been dropping super chats the whole time, even though he's been getting smoked by everybody in here. Everybody still appreciates and respects him for it. Mike Williams or Judy Stevenson for Aaron Jones. Yes, I'd do any of those combinations for Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones is a good buy low and a good situation to get into. Reyes, trade Lamb and Gabe Davis for JJ and ETN. I already said smash on that. You're live on the show. Who am I talking to?
Daddy's back.
Zach, what's up, Zach?
What's up? I need some help, Smitty.
What's up? I'm surprised you're coming to me, Zach. I thought you didn't like my advice.
I don't, but I do need some.
Okay. Go, Zach.
All right, my team. Justin Herbert, Aaron Jones. First off, I want to say I started off 3-0. Everything was amazing, and my fantasy football team has crumbled in the last 3 weeks. I got Justin Herbert, Aaron Jones. My running back 2 is really weak. I got Melvin Gordon in there right now. Mike Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mark Andrews.
Hold on one second. Let's start over. JJ, Aaron Jones, Melvin Gordon. Who else?
Justin Herbert, Aaron Jones, Melvin Gordon, Mike Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I got Mark Andrews at the tight end. I got Jacoby Myers, Romeo Doubs, David Njoku, and I got all the rest of the Denver running backs.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe you should have listened to my advice at the beginning of the year there, Zach, because that's a pretty thin team. You got JJ, Aaron Jones, and St. Brown and Andrews, right?
No JJ. Justin Herbert.
Oh, Herbert. Okay.
Yeah.
I like Herbs, but I thought you maybe. Yeah, you definitely are struggling there. I don't know. Yeah. The only thing you can do is divide up Andrews into 2 players. That's your only saving. St. Brown, you might be able to do that with, but I have a feeling that people are still on a wait and see to give you overgive on that one. Denver running backs are trash. Trade them, all 3 of them, whatever, for ETN. You can pull that off. You might salvage your season. ETN's about to go bonkers. Aaron Jones, you're going to have to bank on him bouncing back. No one's giving you anything for Aaron Jones. Herbert, no one's giving you anything that deserving of his services. You got to hold him. No one cares that Mike Williams even exists. So your only shot is trading Andrews into 2 players, and maybe you go after a Walker and a potential, you go rogue at tight end, you pick up a tight end. Hopefully Taysom Hill got cut. He's sitting out there. But you start a different tight end and you go with like a Walker and a potential, let's see, like, I don't know if Higgins would be in that. Walker and Higgins.
Hey, having Njoku on the bench.
Who? Njoku. Okay,
Njoku.
So trade Andrews, putting Njoku in, and then you're just gonna try and trade like for like a Walker and a really nice wide receiver that's undervalued, or go after a potential Breece Hall, my guy. I know we argued about it earlier, but you maybe could get Breece Hall and a Gabe Davis for Andrews, and we can turn you into a Breece Hall and Gabe Davis super fan, fanboy.
Stop it.
Yeah, do it. You can do it, bro. We have faith in you. Go. I got to get out of here. Go trade Andrews away, and shape up. All right, later.
All right, GG.
This guy's out of his mind. We appreciate him. He's been super chatting like a maniac. He says he doesn't love the show. We know he loves the show. Let's see if we got any other super chats that rolled in right before I left. I don't see any. Let's see, Zach, and then there was Bobby. Bobby said Mike Williams so Aaron Jones. Go get Aaron Jones. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all tonight at about midnight Eastern. That's usually when I go live. I'm live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday, which is this show right here. This is the 7 p.m. show from the Friday edition. I'm also live whenever news breaks, like I went live last night. 3 minutes after that McCaffrey trade happened, I went live for 4 straight hours talking about it. Go watch that live stream if you missed it. And I'm live also additionally, not even on the screen, I'm live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at midnight Eastern. I'll see you later tonight. Appreciate you all.
The tripod, also likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, are constructed using Burrow or Hertz, Chase or a JB, Hull or Walker.